Nation, what's going on? It's Friday Happy Hour. I'm Mitchell Renz, host of the Raiders Report, and coming up here on today's show, we're going to be breaking down some of the training camp news and notes that we got from today. I literally just dropped a video on the channel about 38 minutes ago. If you haven't seen some of the camp notes, please go check it out. Aidan O'Connell, freaking Tre Tucker, Brock Bowers all balled out today. But I'll tell you this right now, AOC deserves his flowers. Tre Tucker deserves his flowers. They were unbelievable at practice today. Can I get some AOCs down below? Cheers to the nation out there. Coming up here on today's show, one of the things that we're going to be talking about is some quarterback rumors from ESPN NFL insiders, Dan Graziano, Jeremy Fowler, some interesting rumors around Gardner Minshew, Aidan O'Connell. Also, Anthony Brown. We'll talk about all that. And one of the shows that I usually like to do is around surprise like cut candidates. Well, today I'm going to do a show around surprise roster candidates. I'm going to have 10 players that I have not really talked about all that much, 10 players that missed out on my 53-man roster. I have them ranked on who I believe has the best chance to potentially make this team. As always, I want you to use hashtag Raiders, or you can super chat, get those questions, comments here on today's show, and it's Friday. I'm ready to get a little bit wild today. Alex is away. She's actually in San Francisco. So if anybody sees Alex, she's rocking a Raiders hat. Not this one, obviously, but rocking a Raiders hat. She's working out there for a wedding. If anybody's in the Bay Area and sees her, make sure you just say what's up. If you want to know what our happy hour deals today are, every 100 likes we get, I am going to do 20 reverse jumping jacks. That's the only one that you're going to get for free. First time super chat, we're going to do cheers. So I want some new viewers here tuning in. Yesterday, we had over 700 people watching this show, so cheers to the nation. Every $10 super chat we get, you're going to be entered in to win a Raiders jersey. Every hundo, we're doing a beer bong and a bang, and we did just start a Gong Gang. We don't have anybody a part of the Gong Gang in 2024. I know it's a big number, but guess what? It's happened before here on the Raiders Report. Let's go to an Instagram question I got here from Bingo. At least that's what I'm going to call him. I've been asking people on Twitter, IG, if you want to get those questions, comments on the show, here's how you do it. If the Raiders traded a player away, who would it be? I want to know down below in the comments section if the Raiders were to make a blockbuster, not even a blockbuster trade, if the Raiders were to make a trade right now, who do you think is the most likely that could potentially be dealt? Because that's the question that I got asked from Bingo.
Max Crosby.
Yeah, no chance. I would say right now the player that I think is the highest chance or the best possibility to potentially get dealt right now, I'm going to go with a player like a Matthew Butler, a player like a Byron Young, a guy that's not really a part of this regime, and maybe they're finding a little bit of a tough footing and can't quite get it together, and there could be another team out there that would make a deal. So because of our interior depth at DT, I'm going to go with Matthew Butler. I'm going to go with somebody also like a Byron Young. What do you guys have to say? Jesse says Davante Adams. That one ain't happening. Adams is not getting traded before the start of the season. If the Raiders are a dumpster fire by the NFL trade deadline, which is on November 5th, then sure, you could entertain the idea because he wants to go chase the ring. The Raiders are going to start regrouping for next season, and you're not going to pay a wide receiver $44.1 million on your salary cap in 2025, 2026. And you also got to remember, when the Raiders originally gave Davante that contract, that 5-year, $140 million, they gave themselves an out clause. They can get out of 72 of like the $80 million on the back end of Davante Adams' contract. Ron Raspberry says Divine Diablo. Honestly, Ron, that's a good answer.
Marshall Green?
Yeah. Amir Abdullah, I think the problem there, Ed, is I don't think anybody's going to trade for Amir Abdullah. Robo-Sin City, whoever says Adam slaps yourself. I don't know what that means. Chris Smith is an interesting one there from Vincenzo. I'm kind of with you. Also, King Shab says Chris Smith down below. I see another one coming in for Amir Abdullah on top of that. Well, I got another question here in just a moment, but what were you going to say?
I was going to say, I think a really good answer to this question is, I think the Raiders should trade away any other ticketing app that they use besides Gametime. Because if you're not using Gametime,
smooth,
then what are you doing? You got to trade away that other ticketing app for Gametime. Tell them about it, Mitch.
Yeah, I love me some Gametime. Chuggs and I recently got tickets to go to the Home Run Derby. lowest prices guaranteed. Promo code ChatSports, $20 off. Like, I think it's an awesome app. I've had Gametime for multiple years, way before that they were ever a sponsor here on the show. Now, obviously, you know, with Gametime, terms are going to apply, but I want you to download the Gametime app, create an account, use code ChatSports for $20 off that first purchase. Now, also, our other sponsor here on today's show is Rocket Money. Rocket Money, I think, is an awesome app that helps you save a lot of money out there, helps you with your credit score. I'm saving up for a wedding, and, man, I'll tell you this right now. If I would have known how much a wedding was going to be from the jump, I love Alex to the end of the moon and back, but she's good at spending money, and weddings are expensive. I've been doing everything in my power, and I'm not afraid to tell you that I have been living paycheck to paycheck for a while because I'm trying to save up. Luckily, Rocket Money helps me optimize my finances. If anybody's like that, you're trying to save up, go to rocketmoney.com/LV Raiders. Both of those links are going to be available to y'all down in the comments, down in the description here on today's show. We got a super chat rolling in from DeMokes. Holy shit, what a picture. Aiden the Con Man O'Connell, MVP incoming. DeMokes, you and me both, man. I hope that Aiden, I really do. I hope it happens. I hope Aiden's the MVP. I hope the Raiders win a Super Bowl. I hope that we're all laughing and we can joke about the Kermit the Frog pick that you got up there. It's a pretty legendary picture, I'm not going to lie. For Aiden to win MVP, I think you got to be around 4,400 yards. Let's say, like, I keep going back to the year Tom Brady won it when he had like 28 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. With this defense, you go out there, you win the AFC West. You go out there and you compete from top to bottom. You win the AFC West. I think there's a chance, man, for Aiden. Let's go to my man Jagger. And Jagger, you in. Week 1 blowout if Herbert isn't a go. Also, Raiders. I do think that
63 to 20.
If they don't have Justin Herbert, I don't want to say blowout because I don't want to count, you know, the chickens before they hatch. But their quarterback play is not good whatsoever outside of Justin Herbert. And, you know, it's kind of like that for a lot of teams, but that's a team that is really struggling. I think the other part of it is plantar fascia is not an easy injury to be able to come back from. The Raiders play the Chargers in 37 days from now, and even if he is healthy, I don't know how much of that chemistry he's going to have. They're learning a brand-new offense with a brand-new head coach, tons of brand-new wide receivers.
And maybe with some of the biggest. They have young offensive linemen there. They have some good guys. They have young offensive linemen. If Justin Herbert is expected to scramble with this Raiders pass rush of Max Crosby, Malcolm Kuntz, Tyree Wilson, Christian Wilkins, will he be able to scramble? Will he be able to run around in the backfield away from these guys with a foot injury? Because, I mean, a lot of that is planning and moving around. And if you have plantar fasciitis, it's really hard to do those things.
It can be a lingering injury, man. I mean, if you take one wrong step, he could be dealing with that injury the entire season. And for a quarterback that gets paid as much as he did, you know, if I'm Herbert, you know, you got a brand new head coach. And if I'm Harbaugh, I'm going, oh, man, is this the quarterback that I want right now? I will also say, like, you remember how bad the Raiders' offense was last season? Obviously, Jimmy Garoppolo was terrible. But, like, you know, you couldn't build that chemistry because you weren't able to work with him all offseason. They've been working with him now a little bit, but realistically, I don't think Herbert's going to be on the field at all during the preseason. Probably not for, they say, at least 2 weeks. I don't know if he takes the field again for at least 3-4. So what if the next time you see him on a field is that week 1? There's no chemistry there. I really think that this is a much bigger injury than a lot of people are giving it credit for. Even if he's out there, it's a big injury from a chemistry standpoint. Let's go to my man, Jamari Murray Raiders. Let's effing go, Jamari. You, sir, are in. Noah Santana, the best mustache in the game. You, sir, are also in. We got 266 people you're watching Friday Happy Hour here on the Raiders Board. If you haven't already, make sure you click that like button. I got Ed messaged me earlier today, and he goes, "Are you trying to get wild today?" I'm down to get down today. I'm not going to lie. Noah Santana asked Mitch, how much for you and Chuggs to do a boot race? There's some numbers out there that I'm willing to get down for. But first, I'm not doing a boot until this party gets started here a little bit. That's all I'm saying. Let's go to a question. It's I Blame Anthony 7 on IG. Who are you most excited to see play in the preseason? Chuggs, I'll kick this one over to you first. Also, if anybody wants a chance to win some money, I'm just going to tell you this right now. I'm putting $100 in the duck race right off the jump. 100 ducks in the duck. 100 ducks in the duck race. $100 in the duck race off the jump. I want to get a little bit wet and wild. Yesterday, kind of felt like we were, getting back into football a little bit. We had a lot of people here. A lot of good questions were coming in. A lot of fun interaction. Angel Diaz was the MVP yesterday, so I'm rocking that jersey today. But who are you most excited to see in the preseason? You got to watch a little preseason football yesterday for your Texans.
Yeah, for the Raiders, the guy I'm probably most excited to see on this squad, and it might surprise some of you out there, is DeCamerion Richardson. Ooh. Because the Raiders CB3 is still somewhat up in the air. Jacorian Bennett is the front runner, obviously. Second-year guy out of Maryland, so he has a little bit of continuity with this team, with this coaching staff. But I'm really interested to see what DeCamerion Richardson can do, because we're probably not going to see a lot of Jack Jones. We're probably not going to see a lot of Nate Hobbs. So
I don't know. I mean, APs did say that he anticipates every single Raiders player to play in the preseason. I don't know if that means the first preseason game. But
one drive.
I don't know. But I do think when you have the quarterback competition that they have, and with a brand-new offense with Getsy, it wouldn't surprise me if maybe they rest some of those guys on defense for the first game. Second game, they go out there. But to me, on an offense, you got to run the offense.
I would almost put money on Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins under 50 snaps in the preseason.
I mean, quite frankly, if there's one player that I love watching Mad Max play. I mean, come on. We all love watching Max play. But if there's one guy I don't know if I need to see in the preseason, it's probably Max Crosby.
I mean, we'll probably see a little bit of those guys, maybe Jack Jones, Nate Hobbs, but not a ton of them. I think we're going to see a bulk of the snaps going to guys like DeCamerion Richardson. I think Jacorian Bennett could get a lot of snaps until maybe he does solidify himself as that third corner on the roster. But, I mean, seeing what these guys are like in the preseason, also, what's up with Brandon Faison? Are we going to get another year like last year where he's just injured the entire year? Or
it's something,
are we going to be able to actually see him play this year? So I think a lot is riding on some of these rookies. We know a little bit about Brock Bowers, and we know that he's going to be a really good player.
Yep.
We've seen a lot of Dylan Laube hype already. We've seen him be able to show his stuff. DeCamerion Richardson, I think, has flown a little bit more under the radar, in my opinion, than some of these other guys.
I mean, Richardson, I talked about him, I want to say, on Monday. He was getting some extra work also with the ones. It's still Jacorian Bennett's mainly. But from what I understand from Tom McMahon, they love what Richardson's able to do in special teams. Long, lanky, athletic guy. This is a chalk answer, and it's a stupid answer if I'm being real. But, to me, I am most excited to watch Gardner Minshew. I am most excited to watch Aiden O'Connell. I want to see that quarterback battle because, training camp's cool and all, and we could talk about practice, and if Aiden O'Connell is the best practice player in the world, but Gardner's better on Sundays, or vice versa, if Gardner's the best practice player in the world, but goes out there and shits a bed in the preseason, and Aiden does the exact opposite, no disrespect to practice, but it's practice. I want a guy out there who's slinging the pill on game day, and I want to see the quarterbacks. Outside of that, I want to see how Jacorian plays at corner. And then the other one for me, I want to see Brock Bowers. I want to see Dylan Laube. I want to see how those guys get going. Gary Backus says he's looking forward to seeing Laube play. Cohn's going with Anthony Brown. I see Eichenberg from Mario Gallardo. The offensive line from Robert Jansen. The offensive line is a good one. I want to see how Antonio Pierce manages the game. I want to see how Luke Getsy calls an offense. Let's go to Rashissimo. Love the channel and the commitment to excellence day by day. Go Raiders. It's not Rashissimo. I realize that. Rossman.
I was going to say,
that was a bad Ron Burgundy. Also, that was a first-time super chatter. If you've ever been to an Oakland tailgate, you know this. Nobody drinks alone. Nobody eats alone. We're talking Raiders. We're having a good time. So for every single first-time super chat today, I'm going to cheers to y'all, and let's get this thing going, man.
Let's go. Devontae fan, I'm most excited to see Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer because I want to see how the Raiders are going to run that two tight end offense and with their wide receivers and for fantasy.
I will say this. If I'm the Raiders and I got Luke Getsy, I'm not going to go out there and show really anything. And I think this is the one where preseason can be a little bit of an overreaction because you're going to show your vanilla playbook. you're not going to go out there and show like your plays that you're going to show some plays you're going to use in the NFL game. But I don't want Getchy to go out there and be like, here's our best 12 personnel plays, and we're showing them off in preseason. You show a little bit here and there. I want to see, though, side by side in a game situation. What does Michael Mayer look like next to Brock Bowers? How much havoc is it causing? Even a guy like Tre Tucker, who freaking was unbelievable today at Raiders practice. But I'm excited to see this offense get it going. There's no doubt, Devontae, fam. I see another one coming in here from Jersey Boy Greaser, and I just saw somebody ask, Johnny B. Good, yes, brother, you, my friend, are ready to rock and roll, and dude, this show's about to get a little bit nutty. I'm just telling you that right now. Hot take, Glaze takes Munford's job. I'll tell you what, it is a hot take. I was impressed by DJ Glaze's ability to step in a little bit. He's got a tough matchup going up against Max Crosby, right? Like, there are 10-year veterans that don't want to go up against Max Crosby, and you got Glaze out there, who I thought did an okay job. But I do think Dare Munford is one of the more underappreciated offensive linemen that we have on our roster. And when he was playing last season, was able to do a halfway decent job. Max got some work in today against both Munford and Glaze. But to me, if you were to tell me, Mitch, what are some of the battles right now where a starter could lose their position to a backup? I definitely think Dare Munford is one of those that could lose his position to DJ Glaze. I think somebody like a Divine Diablo could potentially lose his job to Tommy Eichenberg. I think a player like Jacorian Bennett could potentially lose his job to the next man that ends up stepping up into that one. Maybe a player like John Jenkins loses his starting job to Tyree Wilson. Maybe somebody like an Adam Butler. A lot of different areas that you could look at, no doubt about it. This one, though, is a good one. Let's go to my man, Mario. Any news on Gilmore or Gakwe? The last time I've seen Gakwe, he tried out, I want to say for the Panthers. He also tried out for the Miami Dolphins. And the fact that both of those teams didn't really do anything, there's a lot of speculation that he's not healthy. So because of the fact that he's not healthy, you know, that could really cause a little bit of concern, if you will, could cause a little bit of concern just because he's not healthy. If the Raiders were to make a move, though, obviously I would want it to be Stephon Gilmore over Gakwe. All right, I'm going to refresh my phone here right now. Again, $20 Venmo. You get a chance to get in to make some money. Ed Robbins, you in. I see Jamari Murray, you in. Right now, $20 Venmo. You would go home with $180 here on the Raiders Report. Chuggs, I'm going to send you a message here. So please be on the lookout. It's gonna get a little bit weird here early on. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. Do the first one that I send you first, and then we'll get to the second one second. And because of the second one, I need you to update the one graphic, which you'll kind of see what I mean. You'll see what I mean.
Did you send it to me?
TV. Oh, okay. Yep, send it to TV. So, Raiders Friday Happy Hour, which I just realized this. We just hit 100 likes. So, I know this is a weird and wild show once in a while, but I also like being able to let my hair down and hang out with the nation because that's what friends, that's what family here is all about. So, I owe y'all 20 reverse jumping jacks, and if you want to do them with me, you could do your best. I'll tell you this, doing a reverse jumping jack, it's not that easy. I feel like every time I do this, though, I think a rebel. A reverse jumping jack. Can I do them quick? Oh, dude, that's
so you want to do the first one first and the second one second?
Jamari first.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, this is the most exercise I've done since my bachelor party. I feel like I'm gonna throw up. I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Woo! Drew, what's up, Drew? Mario, what's up, man? Jaime Alvarado. How many people watched the preseason game last night? Whew. I'm out of breath. The preseason game last night was honestly, both offenses were clicking at a high level.
Oh, yeah.
It sucks that it got rained out. They need to do that game in a dome. The amount of players that didn't get their opportunity to show what they can do in the third and the fourth quarter is sad. Like, I can remember when I went to Topgolf a few years ago with Nick Wachowski, and he just, told me how much he believes in the preseason. And you know, you go back 4 years ago when we interviewed Tyrell Williams, he said the exact same thing. Both of those players were UDFAs, And both of those guys, made a good amount of money in the NFL. And it's so important for some of those players to be able to get out there, show what they can do because, we always talk about it like to me, Gardner Minshew might not be that good of a practice player, but he's a gamer. And that happens all the time, not just at the quarterback position, running backs, wide receivers, DBs, linebackers. Some guys, when the lights are on and it's time to play, they're a different player. I played with guys like that my entire career in college, played with guys like that when I played professional baseball. There are just certain guys that go out there and they are just straight up ballers. You know who else is a baller? Jamari Murray. Bang! What's up, Jamari? His first bang of the month of August, and which means Jamari now is tied up Angel Angel Diaz for first place in our August bang race. This is Friday Happy Hour, and this upcoming season, I'm going to do a better job of, some days are going to be shit shows. Other days, no shit shows. Today's going to be a shit show. It's Friday. When the regular season's going on, Chuggs and I are going to go live every single Thursday for Thursday Night Football. That's going to be a shit show. Raiders game day, we're going to get wild. We're going to get crazy, but I got to do a better job this season of not literally silver and blacking out until the Raiders win a football game, or maybe if I'm just frustrated afterwards. And those are going to be really the only two shows that I'll get crazy for during the regular season. And then also on top of that, obviously, if there's any breaking news ever. Jamari, cheers to you, bro.
There we go.
You take one down, you pass it around, and we got another one coming in from Noah Santana. Bang! Oh, shit, I didn't even realize you changed that.
That's what
Ed Robbins. Ed Robbins. Let's go, Ed, the first member of the Gong Gang for our new 2024 Raiders Report season. That's unbelievable, man. That's unbelievable. Also, I got to go back to the Noah one. I got to do it right for Noah.
Well,
I saw Noah's pop up, and sometimes it just happens, man. Sometimes it just happens. So, Noah Suavemente. Bang! What's up, Noah? Woo!
He said, is the gong ready, asking for a friend?
Oh, the gong's ready.
Yeah, so the timing on that really messed us up.
That's on me. That's on me. I got a little bit excited from the jump there. I owe you guys 2 more beer bongs. Like I said, Gong Gang, if you can update, there's a Gong Gang list 5, and then there is a August Bang leader also. Ed Robbins now in first place with 5. Noah's got 1, and then Angel, and then also Jamari, all tied in there with 1 bang for the month of August. Reminder, whoever's the MVP in the month of August, you're going to get a special little giveaway. Love to see it. We got 1 more in there then. So Noah's just came in late.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to give you guys a nice custom Raiders Report jersey. We'll send it out to you. It's going to be a fun time this season, man. That I can guarantee you.
There we go.
Robert, 500, I'm not doing a boot. So because you guys sometimes, you get carried away, now we're going to do a better job of showing love to the Gong Gang. We're going to do some, better love of being able to send you guys some stuff. The only way we're doing boots is when we hit, certain numbers, because I don't want one person to be able to impact unless it's, an unbelievable whatever, which 500 is incredible. But, I got to be able to do a better job of not literally blacking out every show. Today might get wild, don't get me wrong. But Boots, I was talking to I was talking to Noah Santana earlier, and I said, once we get a certain amount, then we'll end up doing a boot. We'll be able to keep you guys up to date how close we are to a boot. But sometimes you guys just kick my ass too much, and then it's like 10 minutes into the show, and I'm hurting a little bit. So just keep that in mind. It's all good, though. It's all good, though. Oh, man. Ed Robbins, Angel, you guys are going wild. Y'all are getting wild here. I got to crack one more open, and we're going to keep this thing rocking and rolling. JJ fan.
I think my name might be a little outdated.
Yep.
And the photo. A little bit.
You know, I'm not going to say you're wrong, okay? But I'll also say if you want to still rock with JJ, you know, they always have that once a Raider, always a Raider. But JJ's also been talking hella shit about the Raiders. So, like, I don't know. Like, I've always been a fan of Jacobs, to be honest. Like, he's the first touchdown I've ever seen in person. When I went to the 2019 Raiders game, Monday Night Football, Jacobs' first touchdown was, you know, running into the black hole. I literally have that video on my phone. And Jacobs, for that reason, you know, he got the tattoo. I was like, this guy is a Raider. Love what he was able to bring to the field. Beautiful story about, you know, him getting to where he is at now. Well, like, I've been kind of bitter with JJ because, like, well, for one, blocked me on Twitter, which I thought was kind of lame, and been talking crazy stuff about the Raiders. And I'll tell you this right now, when Jacobs is talking about a lot of the stuff that you've seen on social media here and there, he's been lying through his teeth. And I would say that right to his face. He's been lying about the Raiders contracts, this and that. We were sitting down talking to his agent, and then, like, the next day, Jacobs is, like, saying some outlandish shit. I don't know, man. It's sad the way that relationship ended up unfolding. But I can also understand if he's dealing with Josh McDaniels in the locker room for 2 straight years, that would make me want to go nuts too. Personally, I hope that JJ and the Raiders can get back to being friends because, again, I'm not going to hate on a guy that I've literally never shaken hands with. But I owe one more. Chuggs.
Uncle Doobie manifesting a Dylan Laube preseason kick return for touchdown with the new kickoff rules. I actually don't know if it's easier or harder to get a kickoff return touchdown with the new kickoff return rules. I think there's still a lot of feel-out process with this new kickoff return rule. I mean,
I didn't like it.
We couldn't really see it.
Did you guys like it? Why free SN for no?
We couldn't really even see it last night because the field sucked and guys were slipping a lot.
Yeah.
So we didn't really get to see a lot of the kick returns that we normally would, but also
Jagger, you're in.
I just don't know if they're acclimated to this yet.
And then Cheryl and Goots is in right now. $20 Venmo, you would win $200 here on the Raiders Report. We're going to do this duck race at the very end of today's show. Giovanni, you're just flexing on us right now. This is just a show-off picture. I mean, this man's he's got a chin. He's got a jaw. Christ, save some for the rest of us. Y'all think the Raiders could use AOC and the guard dog, I like that, as a dynamic duo like the Carr Mariota days? One goes down, you got another ready, go Raiders. I think what you're saying here is actually 2 very different things. Like, when Derek and Mariota were together, you would maybe see Mariota, like, I don't know, 10 plays the entire season. Then obviously when he went down, yes, Mariota had himself a good game against the Los Angeles Chargers. But, like, from top to bottom, I don't think it's smart to go with a 2-quarterback system. I want our quarterback to be able to go out there, build chemistry with the receivers, go out there, build chemistry with Luke Getsy, and just build chemistry in general. Like, I don't want to go out there, it's like one quarter's Aiden's, another quarter's Gardner. If Aiden O'Connell's the starting quarterback and we're rolling, and when I say rolling, like, if it's by the time we play, I don't know, the Chiefs week 8, and the Raiders are 5-2, 4-3. If you got a winning record, you're keeping him in there. Like, there's no reason to pull him out. If Gardner goes out there and he struggles game 1, game 2, I mean, if I'm the Raiders then sure, you think about switching to Aiden O'Connell. It wouldn't surprise me if both quarterbacks start multiple games this upcoming season. And, like, I say that simply because I think both QBs are so equal, where they play a totally different style of football, right? Like, Gardner's more of the backyard football, broken play, can make things happen with his legs. Aiden's more of the pocket passer. but from like the level of how good they are in terms of what does an NFL quarterback look like. They're both like right here. You know what I mean? Like there's things that Aiden does better than Gardner. There's things that Gardner does better than Aiden. It is a neck-and-neck battle right now in training camp, though after today, Aiden opened up a lot of eyes today. I'm telling you all that right now. Let's go to Zamir White _fan. Is this JJ fan? Just Zamir? I love it. Though I feel like you got to go ZW fan.
Also,
I feel like you got to go ZW fan.
Also, bad news for you. You will need a new picture because you did change his number.
Who?
Zamir.
Yeah. Zeus is about to get loose. Zeus, I'm telling you what, Zeus is a monster of a human being. He's going to be a very, very physical runner this season. I think what he's going to be able to match is like, oh, Giovanni said, Mitch, that's not really me.
Oh, yeah, that's a me.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. To be honest, I've never felt more insecure in this chat than I did in that moment. Here is our Gong Gang for 2024. There is one man and one man only sitting on top of this chart. His name is Ed Robbins of 4-Hour 2024 Gong Gang. Throughout the season, I'm going to keep track of whoever hits the gong the most. And you know what's going to be really cool? Whoever hits the gong the most for our 2024 season, you're getting it.
Oh, I thought you were...
What? What? No, something else?
I didn't know what you were going to say.
Oh, so we're about to order a brand new gong. Raiders gong only. And we're gonna write some names. We're gonna sign it once I officially get it. So the gong that I have right now is I'll call it our Chat Sports gong. We're about to get a brand new gong. I just put in the order for one. Whoever hits the gong the most, we're going to send you a gong that we've been using all season long. We're going to start signing it. It's going to be really freaking cool, man. Ed, you're the first man on the list. That's freaking sick, dude.
Season-long gong.
Season-long gong. Yoda Jenkins, Silver and Black Hills, you in.
Todd Severs.
Norman Hernandez, you in. $20 Venmo, you'd win $220. Raiders. What's up, nation? Super excited for our team. Potentially best defense in the league. Let them underestimate us. Just win, baby. I mean, you look at the numbers from last season. You know, this has been something that I think I've made countless videos on, and it's where people can doubt us. I'm okay with that. This is a Super Bowl caliber defense. The final 9 games of last season with Antonio Pierce, with Patrick Graham, the Raiders are giving up about 16 points per game. That would have been number 1 in the NFL. You look at what this team did from a coaching standpoint. 2 out of the 9 games, Raiders did not commit a penalty. Raiders were dead last, or not dead last, but technically first place. Least amount of penalties committed. This is a defense that spent also the second least money on the defensive side of the football last season because McDaniels only cared about himself in the offense, which it stunk, by the way. So you go out, you add Christian Wilkins, you add another season in the Patrick Graham system. I really don't think the national NFL media, even Madden, when I see some of these Madden ratings, like I put out a video yesterday about some disrespectful Madden ratings with like Jack Jones. Funny enough, an hour later, Jack ended up tweeting it out like, what are these Madden ratings? But Malcolm Kuntz is 72 overall. Like, you know, Jack Jones, 74 overall. That's flat out disrespectful. But you know what? I'm okay with it. Bulletin board material. This is going to be a football team that gets motivated from the little things because they're going to carry around that chip on their shoulder, which they absolutely should do. All right, y'all, coming up here live on the Raiders Report, let's get into some of these rumors here. What do you got for me?
That's on me. I need to be better with this.
What? Oh, that was a first-timer from Todd. Tad. What's up, Todd? Every first-time Super Chat, if you're drinking with us today, please be over the age of 21. If you're under the age of 21, go get a glass of milk. I don't know. Actually, a milk boot might be worse than a real boot. Would you rather drink 36 ounces of milk or 36 ounces of beer?
Beer.
I think I'm with you.
Easy.
Yeah?
Easy.
Dude, milk's tough. What if it's skim milk? Todd.
It's still a no for me.
M for milk, B for beer. What would you go with? Skim milk, no way.
Half and half?
Bro. Half and half is deadly. Have you ever had real milk from a cow?
I assume all my milk that I drink does come from a cow.
I'm talking like, well,
unless
it's a lot different.
Unless
to be
the government's not telling me something.
Well, unless you actually drink milk from a cow, it's a lot different than the milk that you get in a grocery store. So like
you're saying like non-pasteurized milk.
Sure.
That's awful. No.
Delicious.
You're not supposed to drink it.
It's delicious. It's a milkshake. It's like, imagine if you melt ice cream.
It's also like 25% more likely that you get a disease.
I don't know if that number's accurate.
Oh, it's a lot more likely.
Dude, growing up, I would milk a cow. You put it into the bucket. You put it into your container, and then you put it in the fridge. You come back the next day, and I'm not kidding you. If you're like looking at a glass of milk, the fat is like there, and then the milk's there. So when you get it, you got to shake it all up to like create this like milkshake. You drink that, dude, a little chocolate milk in that action, unbelievable.
Yeah.
When I was a kid growing up, you milk the cow, you put the milk in the fridge for a day, and then my dad, he was like, he wanted to be healthy, so we had Ovaltine. So you get Ovaltine, throw some scoops of Ovaltine in that thing. Bro, unbelievable. Has anybody ever had that type of milk? That milk's good. Some sugar and Rebel, it was organic. I know I don't look like somebody that grew up on a farm, but I grew up on a farm.
Yeah. I don't know if I could test with that.
I would say this, for somebody that likes food as much as you do and you're a foodie, if I gave you this milk and you didn't know what it was, you'd be like, that's some of the best milk I've ever had. It's thick. Chocolate milk, like, very good. It's very good. Nando, I'll be real. Nando, I've never had that milk.
There's a reason. There's a reason why we all drink pasteurized milk. I'm just
sure. No?
You're literally drinking raw milk like that is like seeing a sketchy Chinese food place. Like, just, you walk in.
No, dude.
Dude, it is so much more likely that you get like salmonella, E. coli, like a ton of diseases from unpasteurized milk.
Well, I don't know. I'm here. And I turned out just fine, so maybe it is, maybe it isn't. All right, y'all, let's get into today's first show. It's going to be around some quarterback rumors around Aiden, Gardner, and also we're going to talk about Anthony Brown. ESPN NFL insider Jeremy Fowler Dan Graziano had some interesting things to say about our quarterback room. I'll get into it here in just a second, and then when I get back from this segment, it's about to get a little bit weirder here on today's show. If you haven't already, make sure you guys click that like button. Believe it or not, it does help us out a lot. I know that not everybody can super chat. I know that not everybody can hit that subscribe button for the second time because a lot of y'all are probably already subbed. But believe it or not, every little thing helps. Comments, likes, and if you could click the share button. I know I'm asking a lot, but hey, the show is free after all. All right, coming up right now, let's get into these fun rumors from Fowler, from Graziano around the Raiders quarterback situation. Also, I had somebody tell me yesterday, it was I think it was Taino. Taino goes, Mitch, can you use the just win babies a little bit more? So you know what, Taino? Your wish is my command. Coming up, must-see Raiders rumors around this quarterback battle. Who will be the Raiders starting quarterback week 1? Gardner Minshew, Aiden O'Connell, or Anthony Brown? Let me know down in the comments section, because coming up here on today's show, we're talking about some must-see Raiders quarterback rumors from ESPN NFL insiders Dan Graziano and Jeremy Fowler. I'm going to give my 2 cents on some of the things that they had to say recently about this Raiders quarterback battle, because it's one of the top trending stories around the NFL, around the preseason. Even if you're not a Raiders fan, a good quarterback battle in the preseason, it hits different. One of the top things that I watch going on around all NFL teams, if there's a little bit of a QB battle, dude, I'm locked in. I love a battle, especially around the quarterback position. So let's get into the very first one here. Aidan O'Connell has the edge over Gardner Minshew. I'm going to give this one 3 just win babies, and I'm going to say that, yeah, it's pretty likely that AOC does have the advantage right now over Minshew. Why am I saying that? Because nothing really has changed all that much. Plus, what AOC did during Friday's practice, I think really opened up a lot of people's eyes. But according to Fowler, AOC has the slight edge over Minshew. AOC and Minshew have been splitting reps during training camp. They've been splitting reps the entire offseason. And Fowler believes that AP will lean on AOC if nobody says that I'm the guy. So do you remember earlier in the week, Antonio Pierce took the podium? I want to say it was on July 30th, and he said, like, I'm just waiting for somebody to go up there and say, I'm the guy. Like, this is the job that I want. And he literally said, I'd like to see somebody take it and say, I'm the guy, and make it clear and evident, because why would you not want your head coach? Because the amount of times he gets asked, hey, who's going to be the starting quarterback? Aiden, Gardner. I mean, I'm even kind of getting sick of it. It's kind of like when somebody asks me a question about Derek Carr. I've been asked 10,000 Derek Carr questions in my day. But at the end of the day, we want to know who the starting quarterback is. But what Aiden O'Connell did at practice on Friday, I think Aiden might have said, hey, coach, I might be that guy. Here's what Dan Graziano had to say about the Raiders quarterback battle. I think Pierce will feel enough loyalty to O'Connell to lean his way. And if neither player separates himself during camp, I predict that the way that the Raiders will go in week 1. So what Graziano and Fowler are saying is basically what Antonio Pierce has said. It's basically what all of us have said. If they start training camp and Aiden is the QB1, Devontae Adams has said he's the QB1, and it's always been Aiden's QB1, Gardner's like QB1B in this QB battle. And if nobody separates himself, that means you're still going to roll with Aiden O'Connell as the quarterback for the starting week. So everything that Fowler said, everything that Dan Graziano said there, I 100% agree with that statement. And because AOC's been the QB1, and because Minshew hasn't earned the quarterback job yet, and because this is an open battle, yes, I think that this is right now, Aiden does have the slight edge. And when I built this show, I'll be fully transparent. I built this show before the Raiders practice on Friday, after getting all the notes that I did, and after making the video that I did on Friday about Aiden going out there and straight cooking, straight cutting people up. He was an assassin in Friday's practice. Aiden's got a slight edge, and that slight edge might just be an edge right now. If you haven't already, make sure you guys subscribe to the Raiders Report. I want to get to 171,000 subs by the time we go up against the Minnesota Vikings. Every year I do this show, if I expect the Raiders to get 1% better, if Max Crosby says that, hey, I want to get 1% better, I expect the Raiders Report to get 1% better. So let's get 1% better. Let's get to 171,000 subs by the Vikings preseason game. We are currently about 500 away from that number. I want our preseason watch party to be rockin' Oakland style, and there's only one way we do it. We got to get the numbers up, because you get more people in an Oakland tailgate, it turns into a real party, man. If you want to see how I think the Raiders quarterback plan is going to end up going throughout the preseason, throughout training camp, and if you look at what I predicted for this video, which is probably about 2 weeks ago, spot on for training camp. Preseason week 1, and what they're going to end up doing for week 1 from top to bottom. If you want to see how I want Antonio Pierce, Luke Getsy, Tom Telesco to handle this Raiders quarterback situation, go check out this video. It's on the Raiders channel. Look up Raiders Report QB plan revealed. Let's go to the next story coming up here on the show. Will Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew both start at some point this season for the Las Vegas Raiders? I'm also going to give this one 3 just win babies. And it's not because I don't have confidence in Aiden. It's not because I don't have confidence in Gardner Minshew. It's because right now this quarterback battle, it's a coin flip. It's neck and neck. And we can go either way. And if Aiden goes out there and he balls out, guess what? I don't think he's going to come off the field. If Gardner goes out there and he balls out, I don't think he's going to come off the field. It's really going to come down to, are the Raiders winning football games? And Fowler believes that AOC does have the edge, but he does think that both quarterbacks at some point this season are going to play. And per Fowler, people outside of the building don't consider either the long-term answer. I think that is a more than fair statement to make right now. And I'm sure there's some Raider fans out there that say Aiden O'Connell is the long-term answer. I'm sure there's some Raider fans out there that say Gardner Minshew is the long-term answer. But the way that I would say it is this. Are you willing to bet your house? Are you willing to bet your job? Are you willing to, I think that's a good one. Are you willing to bet your job on one of those two quarterbacks being the starting quarterback, the franchise guy for this organization? Me personally, I'm not willing to do that. And because I'm not willing to do that, says that, yes, anything is absolutely possible. The Raiders' schedule is not an easy one. And depending on how this offense goes out and executes in a brand new Luke Getsy offense, like, I wouldn't be surprised if you see like Aiden go out there. Maybe then they have Gardner start a game. Do you go back to Aiden? The easiest way to solve this problem is if Gardner's the starter, if Aiden's the starter, if they're winning football games, we're not going to switch a quarterback unless it's that bad of a quarterback display. Coming up next here on the show, I got some must-see AOC and Minshew stats. And I'm a big stats guy. Once the season gets rolling, you know, we do this show so often, so I really try not to recycle my stats all that much. But I got some really, really good comparison stats. So if you're a stat junkie out there, please don't go anywhere. Also, if you like to see some numbers, how about seeing some numbers in your bank account go up? Optimize your finances with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/LV Raiders. That link's going to be available to y'all down in the comments, down in the description of today's show. Maybe you're a big baller like Noah Santana, because Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so that you can grow your savings. With Rocket Money, I have full control over my subscriptions and a clear view of my expenses. I can see all of my subscriptions in one place, and I can see if I don't want something. Rocket Money can help me cancel it with just a few taps. I love my fiance, Alex. I literally just got a text from her that goes, "Why didn't you post anything for me for National Girlfriend Day? Heads up, you're a fiance now." If you're looking to save some money on a house, a wedding, a new car, you know, I love the fact that I can check my credit score. It's actually how I got my dad to get started with Rocket Money, because he was always like, "Oh, I don't want to check my credit score. I don't want to see what it is." Well, guess what? Now you can with Rocket Money. Anybody out there, you should definitely go to rocketmoney.com/LV Raiders. Rocket Money has helped over 5 million users and has helped save a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's features. Stop wasting money. Stop wasting things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/LV Raiders. All right, man, next thing coming up here on today's show. Again, we're still rocking and rolling. I got some cool offensive stats here around AOC, around Gardner Minshew, and I just want to be able to talk through these numbers here, so please kind of bear with me to everybody that's tuned in, watching this show live right now. And Noah, we'll be banging. Don't you worry, man. I do want to look at rookie numbers, because when you look at this quarterback battle between Aiden and Gardner, a lot of people just talk about, you know, Aiden and his rookie season. But I've also said before that I think that Gardner really has never gotten a fair shake at getting a true opportunity to be the true starting quarterback on a decent football team. I mean, look at the numbers here when Gardner was a rookie. He had better numbers than Aidan O'Connell. Yeah, he was in probably a better situation than what AOC was last season. But, like, from a rookie number standpoint, Gardner had a good year, and he's also played on 4 different offenses. He's been bouncing around a lot. So you go from rookie season, and then, you know, we'll go back to the 2023 stats, which these are the 2023 stats based on yards per game, like based on per game stats. So Minshew, a little bit lower than Aiden. The touchdown percentages are similar. The interception percentages are similar. QBR is definitely in the favor of Gardner Minshew. And then that win-loss record, and you got to remember, Week 17, Minshew's Colts did beat Aidan O'Connell's Raiders, and I'm not just sitting there saying we're just going to blame that on Aiden. No, but I do think from a head-to-head standpoint, that could be a little bit of a tiebreaker if you're trying to figure out what you're looking for next season. But here's the one thing that I got to say, and, you know, I always point this out where it's not fair to just look at the entire season from Aiden, because that first game he was playing against the Chargers, he's got Josh McDaniels as the head coach. He's got Bo Hardegree as an offensive coordinator, and even though McDaniel said they did everything in their power to stop Khalil Mack, they only double-teamed him twice in 60-plus snaps. When you look at the numbers, though, with Aiden, with Antonio Pierce, he definitely took a step forward, because guess what? He finally was put in a little bit of a better situation. So when you look at AOC's stats with AP from a per-game basis, I want to see him improve a little bit. And if you can take these numbers and if Aiden can get up to like a 65% completion percentage, if he can get around, let's say, 232 yards per game, get up near maybe like 1.5, 1.6, lower that interception number with this type of offense or this type of defense, that's really going to help us go. Because at worst case scenario, if Aiden is the starting quarterback for the Raiders this season, these are the numbers that I expect. So if you take his numbers with Antonio Pierce last season, project them from a 17-game sample size, this is the numbers that Aiden would come up with. I'm going to be honest. If we finish this season, and these are the numbers that Aiden put up, we're probably only going to win 7 games. Like, these are not good quarterback numbers. I want to see Aiden's numbers get up there, like I said, around that 65% completion percentage. I want him around 4,000 passing yards. I want him around 25 touchdowns, and I want that interception number to be somewhere around 5 or 6. If you do that, the Raiders are going to the playoffs. Believe it, baby. The next thing that is a really, really important stat is how these guys play in the fourth quarter. How are they playing if you're going to pay a quarterback money, this is what it comes down to, right? Can they get it done when the time is the biggest and the brightest? That's the fourth quarter in a plus or minus game of 7 points. Aiden struggled a lot last season in this category. Gardner Minshew did a much better job, and maybe that's because that's that veteran presence in him, and I'm really, really hoping that Aiden takes that next step into the NFL, and if he does what he did in practice on Friday, look out, NFL. The Raiders are about to shock the world. Coming up next here, could Anthony Brown start for the Raiders? I talked about this on, was it Thursday or Wednesday? I don't remember which day, I'll be honest. And I kind of gave my 2 cents of, quite frankly, I don't care who the Raiders starting quarterback is. If Anthony Brown's the best QB that the Raiders have, maybe he should be the starting QB. But I did see a video on YouTube about Anthony Brown being a legit contender to be the starting quarterback for the Raiders, and I'm going to talk about it here in just a second. But if you don't already know, we are doing a 2024 kickoff event. And if you want to be able to get your tickets, go to chatsports.com/week1. Those links are available to you all down in the comments and in the description of today's show. Chuggs and I are going to go to North Carolina. We're going to be doing a watch party. If you enjoy what we do here on YouTube, well, guess what? I really, really hope that you enjoy what we're going to be doing in person. Join the show, be able to come on the show, giggity. And if you want to bang a little bit as well, guess what? We can do all that stuff. That's going to be on Sunday. The day before, on Saturday, we are doing a raffle, and I know Nathan Wolf has been asking me a ton, when are the winners going to be announced for this? And if anybody wants a chance, there's 20 people that are going to be able to hang out with Chuggs and I. Raffles, there's prizes, food, drinks, Topgolf. 20 people are going to win. The winner will be announced on the Thursday night football game. So you'll be live on the Raiders Report. I'll actually be at a wedding. I think it's like September 5th. They're going to announce the winners of the 20 raffle winners for this on that Thursday night football game. So they're actually going to be hosting a party that night as well, and they're going to do a live in-person raffle. So the 20 people will be announced then, and then I'll be able to announce the winners probably on my social media, or I'll post something somewhere. They will reach out to you, though, if you win, because you have to submit your email, and you might have to submit a phone number. I don't remember all the logistics, but that's when the winner is going to be announced. So if anybody wants to show off their golf skills, if anybody's trying to put a ball in a hole, with Chuggs and I, chatsports.com/topgolf. All right, here we go. Final one. We talked about AOC and Gardner Minshew, but I did see a video. Like I said, Anthony Brown Jr. could start at quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders this upcoming season. I'm going to go ahead and say this is 0 just win, babies. Tuck rule, tuck that. I'm all about competition. And Anthony Brown has really impressed me this offseason. And quite frankly, I don't even think it's a debate anymore. He's the quarterback 3 of this offense. But I saw a video out there, and it said Brown could seriously start for the Raiders. He's the QB3 right now over Carter Bradley, and I don't know if it's all that close. But, let's get one thing straight here. The QB1 battle, it is only, and I mean only, between Aiden O'Connell, and it is only between Gardner Minshew. Real talk, if the Raiders are sitting there with Antonio Pierce, Tom Telesco, and Luke Getsy, and they're all huddled in, and they go, Aiden, we don't like what he's got. Gardner, we don't like what he's got. Should we go to Anthony Brown? You need to hit the panic button, and it's not a disrespect to Anthony Brown. But if you go out there and you start Anthony Brown and you're going to charge Raider fans the most expensive ticket prices in the NFL, shame on you. You need to figure out a better way to get another quarterback, because if Gardner Minshew and Aiden can't beat out Anthony Brown, it is a real problem. We are not going to win football games unless Anthony Brown turns into some player that I've never seen before. The other thing about this, why I'm so confident that he's just not going to be, he's not going to be the starter for the Raiders, is because why on earth would we hire Luke Getsy and bring in a quarterback that is a worse version of Justin Fields? Justin Fields got traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers for basically a 6th-round pick that can turn into a 4th. If you wanted a QB like Justin Fields, why would you not just go out and get Fields and put him in your offense with Getsy, who's already been in there for 2 years? You're telling me you're going to roll with Anthony Brown, who's a worse version of Fields, and then put him at the QB? A style of play that, let's face it, it didn't work in the Getsy offense. So, yes, he's having a good training camp. And yes, Anthony Brown deserves his flowers. But, can we get one thing straight here? He's not in the running to be the starting quarterback of the Raiders. Say it with me. He's not in the starting running. And if you see people pushing this narrative, you know who he is. It's not something that you need to subscribe to, man. I mean, look at the Bears' offense in 2023, which, sure, the rushing yards per game numbers are great. Total yards per game? Nope. Passing yards per game? Nope. Points per game? 21.1. If the Raiders put up 21.1 points per game this season, they're probably at about 8 wins. Maybe you can get to 9 if your defense is literally the best defense in the NFL. But, that doesn't give you a chance to make the playoffs. I don't want the Bears offense from 2023. I don't want the Bears offense from 2022. And quite frankly, I don't think Luke Getsy wants it. Quite frankly, I don't think Devontae Adams, I don't think we as Raider fans want that style of offense. So, I think Anthony Brown has made a fun competition. He's doing a lot of great stuff this season, offseason for the Raiders. But the QB battle, y'all, is between Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. That's it. Point blank simple. I got to give a shout out to our August comment king. Shout out to K-Rock. Right now he's got, on a video, he commented 9 times. If you don't know what the August comment king is, it is the person that has the single most comments on one video that I put out on the Raiders Report. It's not counting the live videos. It's really hard to be able to count live comments, but when I put out a video, I can count how many times somebody comments on that video. So when I tell you I look at the comments, I do. I am single-handedly counting each of these comments here. K-Rock's in first place, so if somebody puts 10 comments on this video, you're going to be the August comment king. If somebody puts 20, August comment king. You will win a prize if you are the August comment king here on the show. So one more time here, y'all. Our Raiders rumors roundup around the quarterback battle from Jeremy Fowler, from Dan Graziano, and from Li-Fi. AOC. He's got the edge right now over Minshew because it's been a neck-and-neck race, and if they ends in a tie, think of it as like baseball. Tie goes to the runner. Tie goes to Aiden O'Connell, and because of that, that's 3 just-win babies. But AOC was also cooking on Friday. AOC and Minshew will both start this season. If I was a betting man, I would bet on it. I'm not just like I was so confident that Jimmy Garoppolo was going to start all 17 last season. I just think that this is such a quarterback battle, and the NFL season is such a gauntlet that I anticipate both QBs to start at some point this season. And then last is Anthony Brown. It ain't happening. It's a cool story. I hope he goes out there and he balls out in the preseason. But, right now, no, he's not going to be the starting quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders. Let's got a question rolling in here from Almosis. Hopefully I got that right. Your favorite underdog on this team, and I also want to know from the nation, we'll give a few shout-outs here on the show. Who is your favorite underdog on the Raiders? Let me know down below. We're going to give some shout-outs here, but also, Chuggs, while we were doing that segment, there's a man that did a little bit of banging. There's a man that has a mighty, and I mean a mighty, mighty, glorious mustache. Some of y'all just call him Noah, but I call him Suavemente. Noah! Suavemente! Bang! What's up, Noah? You want to shout out here on the Raiders Report? Show Noah Santana some love, and you know what, Chuggs? How about this? Every person that bangs today, if you spam their name, we're going to put you in the jersey raffle. You down? Whoever spams Noah Santana the most, I'm putting you in the jersey raffle. We're giving away a Raiders Report jersey today.
Let's do it.
We're giving away a Raiders jersey today. Noah Santana out there balling. Whoo! I'm going to take this down. Can you read that off for me? What does that say?
He says, like the video, do your step. You can do it all by yourself. Let me see you do it.
Hey, let me see you do it. Hey, snap your fingers.
Hit the noties. You can
do it all by yourself. Let me see you do it. Hey. So Noah got us yesterday where Noah, it was an Eminem song, and Trace knew it like really well. I'm not gonna lie, it hit. Like Trace started rapping it, and I was just vibing.
What song was it?
I forget. It was. I don't feel like it was "Lose Yourself" because I know that song. Noah, what song did you do yesterday, man? What song was it yesterday?
Let's see.
All right, who's getting it? Who's getting it? I see Jeremy Cole, Rebel Montana, Ed Robbins. It was Lose Yourself? All right, it was Lose Yourself.
There we go.
Jeremy Cole, Anthony Green, Jen Benjamin.
I'm going to have to say this one's going to go to Electric Sports.
Swear to you, that was the name I was going to tell you. Electric Sports right now is just spamming Noah. Like right now, if you were to look at his keyboard, N, O, and E are locked.
Oh, yeah.
Control V. Noah, shout out to you, man, for being an absolute legend, an absolute real one here on the show. Also, I got to update some of my numbers here. Ed Robbins is still in the lead. Noah Santana, an absolute legend. Also in the Silver and Black Hills. Did you see the list of the Silver and Black Hills guys from yesterday? Yeah? That's right. Yeah, I talked to Chuggs about it. My mind is, it's elsewhere sometimes, y'all. Ooh. Dude, excuse me. I'm unbelievably sorry that just happened. The worst part about that burp, that smelled like sweet green. Like I can't, like the pesto.
Love it.
Lunch today was great.
Doc.
Lunch today was great.
You in, Doc. Miguel, saw your last video with the 831 Raiders jersey. Gonzales, California, born and raised. Raiders.
Yeah, that's what's great about that jersey is his YouTube name is literally Raider 831. So he asked me if I could do an 831 jersey. I'm not gonna lie, I had to do a lot of scrubbing. I had to find somebody reliable that could make me an 831 jersey, and I think it came out pretty well, man. I really do. I think it came out pretty freaking sick. That'd be kind of cool, like if we made like area code jerseys, where if it just said like Raider, so I'm from the 570. So if I got a Raider 570 jersey, and if anybody from the 570, I don't know how I'd be able to prove it, was like, Mitch, I'm from the 570, and you bang, you just like sign the jersey. Like where are you repping from? Like there was a few area, like it'd be wild, but it'd be kind of fun. That way we could see like where the area codes are. Once we get our new studio, we'll be able to do a lot more of that stuff. I got a really fun idea with some fat heads. It's going to get wild once we get our new studio, but it's going to be a good time.
Hell yeah.
It's going to be a good time. Miguel, cheers to you, man. Uh-oh, Mount Raider, more wild one. That many subs. Wow, I've been gone for a bit. I mean, I think, when you watch this show grow, some of my best memories that I have on this show are from when, back in the day, like, I don't know, maybe this is a weird thing to say, but there are some times where if I don't know anything that I'm going to watch, like I do rewatch a lot of our videos just simply because I want to learn. I want to see what people are saying in the comments when we're doing certain things. Like, look at it as I watch tape too. I rewatch what I do, just like Devontae Adams watches his tape, Aiden watches his tape, Max watches his tape, Chuggs and I watch our tape. We talk about what we do all the time on this show, and we talk about, all that kind of good stuff. But you go back to some of those like OG shows where the graphics aren't very good. I'll be honest, I'm not very good. Some of y'all might think I'm still not very good. But I think when you see how much this show has grown in the six years that we've been doing it, it's cool, though, to also see like the amount of new faces, new people. Once the season gets going, Like that first preseason game, I mean, the amount of people that are going to be in here rocking with us for that first preseason game, it's going to be monumental. Like,
oh yeah,
we're going to get, I bet you we probably have close to 100,000 people that watch our first preseason game. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully it doesn't get rained out. Noah, at Jake Serb. What is that?
Oh, Jake Serb, his grandma's going through a little bit right now. She's in the hospital, so he was asking for thoughts and prayers in the comment section.
Thoughts and prayers. Jake, do you have Venmo, Jake? Jake, let me know yes or no down in the comments if you have Venmo. If you do, I'm going to put an entry in for you for the duck race, and if you win, I don't know if it'll help, but I'm at least willing to try. No? Jake. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do it then. Jake, make a Venmo. Jake, if you make a Venmo, I'm going to put you in for the entry, and if we win, you and me, then I'll send you the money, and then that way I'll cover your 20 to get in. I don't know if it helps, but maybe get your grandma some flowers. I think any of that kind of stuff goes a long way, man. I can remember when my grandfather passed away a few years ago, I bought my grandma flowers, and maybe this is the wrong thing for me to say just because I'm not really a flowers guy. Like, they die, and I'm like, I feel like I could, spend money elsewhere at times. But those flowers, when I gave them to her, I mean, it was like one of the most unbelievable reactions I've ever seen. Obviously, she's dealing with a lot. She got a lot of flowers from a lot of different family members, but it's always good to know that somebody's got your back. But, Serb, we got your back here, man. That's all I got. Wild one. Yeah, I'm the 14 on Mount Raider more. You're the 14. Technically, I want to say that you're the 4th. I'd have to look at the exact.
Well, he's Wild One 14.
Well, yeah, but he's not. Oh, you're saying that you're the 14, just 14. Wild One was actually the 3rd member of Mount Raider more.
I remember for like 2 or 3 months when we thought it was Wild On or like Wheeled On.
Yeah.
We didn't know it was Wild One.
Wild One.
And
Mount Raider more.
One day he was like, "Yo, it's Wild," and then 1.
Yep.
We were like, Wheeled On 14.
Wheeled One 14. Very nice. Wheeled One.
He's a Wheeled One.
He is a Wheeled One. So Mount Raider more is Raider Ron, David Zahn, Wild 114, Trivan, Borelli, Patrick B., Brandon Jasper, Justin Abgen, Ira Jackson, John Scheffler, and Lord Cameron Abbott. If anybody that ever watches the show, if you see one of those 11 people in there, I want you to treat them the way that I would treat my grandfather, my grandmother. You open the door for them. You make sure that they're taken care of. You make sure that you're showing them love.
You come to my daughter's wedding and ask me for a proposition.
But also, there's, and I think Mount Raider Moore is amazing, but if there's one person who I'll always say is like time and time again, been there through the thick and thin, the most out of anybody ever on the show, it's David Zahn. So if Zahn ever pulls up here, Ron and Zahn are the 2 GOATs, and if it wasn't for those 2 guys, I wouldn't have been able to do what I do. They've really helped, create a lot of things, a lot of possibilities at our company, Chat Sports. There was one point where we only had 4 employees. Now we have 30-something employees. Chuggs and I don't keep the Super Chats. Chuggs and I don't keep the Venmos. We do it to be able to make more content for the nation. And, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I did 1 live show a week. It was Tuesday. And those were the only Raiders videos that we made because, quite frankly, it was all that, I could afford to do. Now, we go live 4 days a week. We might go live 3 days a week during the season. We're still kind of up in the air about that just because I want to be able to get you guys more, we call them BODs, videos on demand. But at the end of the day, y'all keep rocking with us. We're going to keep rocking with y'all. All right, I got a question coming in here again from Al Moses. Your favorite underdog on this team? Oh, boy. So when I think of underdog, what is it like underdog for a Raiders standpoint or like NFL media? Because I would say my favorite underdog on this team is Dylan Laube because, not a lot of people on outside of the Raiders, know who he is. But I think if you called Laube, is Laube an underdog for people that watch this show?
Yeah.
It's kind of, is Laube a good answer? Jen Perk says Zamir.
Who's your favorite updog?
What's up, dog? It's embarrassing. Can you check your Slack when you get a chance?
I have it open right now.
Do you really? Noah Santana and Goots, you, sir.
Are you talking about the TV Slack?
Yes. Are both in. They're both in. So that means right now, $20 Venmo, you would win $240 here on the Raiders Report. Brandon Faison from Ed Robbins. I think that's actually a good name, Ed, where I want to see kind of how he materializes. Just so you know, it's 2 O's. 2 O's. We got Trey Taylor from Jeremy Cool. Being able to, talk to Taylor's family. Very, very good guy.
That's not like his legit name, though, is it?
What? Well, that's what he goes by, the Goots.
Okay.
2 O's. 2 O's on the Goots. Dalton Wagner from Sammy77.
I thought you were saying the first name. I was like, that is wild.
No, that's like that. We were talking about it yesterday, like Starbucks.
Jason.
Well, no, it's like I'm Steven with a P, and they spell it P-S-T-E-V-E-N. It's like, it's not quite what I was thinking about.
I've literally, everybody that I know that's named Jeremy, 98.9% of them spell it like this. But still, every time I go to Starbucks, they spell it wrong. I don't know how.
How do they spell it?
Jermy. Jermey. Jeramy.
I mean, I don't know. I actually get Michelle quite often. Like I'll say Mitchell, and it's Michelle.
Every Jeremy that I know spells it like this.
I mean, I don't see how it's spelled any other way.
That's what I think.
Because it'd be Jeremy.
I don't know.
Jeremy.
I don't know anybody that spells it J-E-R.
Jeremy, the science guy.
J-E-R-M-E-Y. I don't know anybody that. But people at Starbucks are like, you know what? He probably goes by Jeremy.
Probably.
Or
Ron Raspberry says MJ Devonshire. That's a good one.
Or he goes by
Jeremy Cole.
Jason
Goots. Bang! I like that. All right, from now on, anytime Goots, we got to point to our Goots. You got to do it. I wish I could show you my Goot.
Oh.
Jason Goots.
Jason Goots.
Jason with the Goots. Very nice, Jason. Whoever spams Goots the most.
Did you see that lady at the store? Her Goots was hanging out.
Dude. If somebody came up to you and was like, bro,
your Goots is out.
Your Goots is out, I would instantly try to zip up my fly.
Your Goots is loose.
Dude, the Goots, it's loose. All right, who's getting a free entry? Who's getting a free entry here from the Goots? Who's getting a free entry here from the Goots? Whoever spams Goots the most. Also, I just realized this. I owe 20 more reverse jumping jacks, which is...
Let's go.
It's not good. It's not good.
Let's see. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? We also have a super chat from Blaine.
Yo, shout out to Blaine Craig yesterday. Blaine Craig yesterday was wilding out on your stream.
Dude, he showed up big time.
He was. So yesterday we did a Texans Bears live stream here at Chat Sports, and we always do super chat battles here in the company. Like, to be honest, I'm a competitive person. We're all competitive people. And it was a David versus Goliath, Bears versus Texans. The comparison's 96,000 subs to what? You got 12, 13, 14?
We're
20?
at 16.
16? 16,000 subs to 96. The Texans channel took down the Bears yesterday. Huge shout out to Blaine Craig.
Huge shout out to Blaine Craig. What's up, Mitch and Chuggs? I'm just going to sit back and chill today. Went a little crazy last night.
Blaine texted me or messaged me yesterday. And he goes, "Yeah, I went a little crazy last night."
Blaine, I actually already put in everything for your jersey. Already got it all set up for you. So I'll let you know whenever our shipping department does get that out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, we lost somebody from our shipping department.
Yeah.
So we're working overtime. That's all I'm gonna say. We're working overtime. Javier Villa, you in?
But Blaine, I'm also going to put you in today's jersey raffle because you're a freaking real one. And I'm going to go ahead and put my man Jeremy Cole in for spamming Goots.
The Goots.
Also, me and Jeremy, we kind of bonded over
the name.
That Jeremy moment. Earlier.
I get it.
I felt it.
You know, some people would say there's a little bondage there.
Favorite underdog on this Raiders team? Give me Jalen Guyton.
He's hurt right now.
I know, underdog.
Oh, I know why you picked it. Never mind.
What? I just want to see him do well for this team.
Uh-huh. I'll tell you this right now.
People who have no idea about that, they're probably like, what in the hell is Mitch doing?
What am I doing? Ah! So Chuggs went to North Texas. That's where Jalen Guyton went. Mean green. I will say this. I'm worried. Not worried. I shouldn't say worried. I'm hopeful that Guyton makes the roster and he turns into like your Rashid Shaheed.
Dude.
If Guyton scores a touchdown.
Guyton's been good. I mean, this is like the tale of like so many NFL players, and it's honestly a reason why it's like the guys who are at the top of their game, it is the 1% of the 1%, because Jalen Guyton is one of those guys who his story is he's good when he plays.
Yep.
He just hasn't played a lot because he gets injured all the time.
It's banged up. I would actually compare Guyton to I don't want to say a great value because that's not fair, but somebody like a Tyrell Williams where, you know, under-the-radar player, but when healthy, could provide a stable, like he's not a 1, not a 2, but if he's your 3, healthy Guyton being a 3,
that's good.
Back in the old days, like maybe like now for the Raiders, you want him to probably be your 4 or 5 just because I like Tre Tucker's better than Jalen. But with this Raiders' current receiving core, Guyton does have downfield ability. Like, he does. He does. All right, y'all. I got one more segment coming up here on today's show. Reminder, if you want to get your questions, comments here on the Raiders Report, you can use hashtag Raiders or you can super chat. Also, if anybody wants to hang out with Jeremy Chuggs and I, you have the opportunity to do so. We're going to be in Vegas August 14th for the joint practice. It's going to be me, David Zahn, Taino Raider. We're all going to be together. Joel's Chophouse as soon as the practice is over, which we'll be at Allegiant Stadium from 5 to 8, okay, 5 to 8 p.m. As soon as that practice is over, Chuggs and I, Zahn and Taino, we're going to go to the Ahern Hotel, which is where this is located. The address is down below. And we're going to Joel's Chophouse, the greatest dinner that we have ever had. Make a reservation on Open Table. In the notes section, put Raiders Report. You're going to get a discount. It is limited space, so please make your reservations now.
I will say this. If you're not able to make it, because I know a lot of people are like, I'm going to be in Vegas, for the preseason game, or I'm going to be, in Vegas at another time. I won't be there at that time, but I still want to try Joel's Chophouse. You can still make a reservation and just put Raiders Report in, the little spot right there. And I promise you, Joel and the guys there will hook you up because they love Raider Nation. We did our Super Bowl event there last year, and they loved everybody who came. So, all the Raiders fans who came. But I'm telling you right now, if you want an amazing dinner in Vegas, and not just go to the basic spots that everybody goes to,
it's a place that, quite frankly, if I never heard of Ahern or if we didn't do our event, never would have went. I'll tell you this right now. Every time I go to Vegas, I will call up Joel, and I'll be like, Joel, can you hook it up? If he says yes, I'm going. That's a place I feel like I could eat once a week at. Legitimate. Like, if Danny was like, can we go to Ahern again tonight? Joel, can you hook it up? Yeah, I can hook it up. I'll be there. I'm going to be there.
I want to try some of the new stuff. I was looking – I keep on going back to the menu.
Oh, dude. All right, real quick. Can I swap out my jersey and go take a leak?
Yeah.
All right, I'll be right back. When I get back,
wrong one.
Trip, when you walk today, you need to actually jump. Bro, I'm jumping. I'm jumping. That's the best I got for you. When I get back, though, we're going to get into that next and final segment about some surprise roster candidates, and then we're going to keep Raiders Friday Happy Hour rocking and rolling here on today's show. I'm out of breath.
Whew. And some of the stuff that I really want to try this time, some bacon-wrapped sea scallops. That sounds bomb. Some short rib arancini. I had arancini for the first time the other day. Incredible. I'm definitely going to be trying the arancini there. It's fried rice balls with like meat inside of it. They're so good. So good. We're going to try some of that. Definitely want some more of that hot seafood platter. Shrimp cocktail. I love shrimp cocktail. I think I might go for the shrimp cocktail instead of the seafood platter this time. And just do that in the bacon-wrapped scallops. You're like, I have to. I want to try the lamb. I want to try the lamb chops. Got to get another steak there, too. I mean, just there's so much. So much good stuff. Peter Chuggs, I had fun. I had fun last night, too. We had a lot of the new guys on as well, new producers here at Chat Sports, testing out their chops. It was fun. I was upset that the game ended last night when it did. But at the same time, I was talking about this with our Bears host as well. I think it ended at the perfect time because it was actually starting, like, it was such a fun game. And then the fourth stringers were getting in, and it was starting to get, a little bit more downhill a little bit. So even though the game ended in the third quarter, I do think that I had a lot of fun last night watching them play. I had a lot of fun this last time. Let's see. Jeremy Cole, I'm going to get some hashtag Raiders questions in there. Chances of Bowers being offensive, I'm guessing you're saying, I think you're asking chances of Bowers being the offensive rookie of the year. Offensive player of the year, I don't think he has a shot. Offensive rookie of the year, it's going to have to be a lot. And the reason why I say I don't think it's going to happen is because normally with the awards like this, quarterbacks end up winning. And there were 3 quarterbacks taken in the first 3 picks of the draft this year. You have Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May. For him to jump one of those quarterbacks in an award, he's going to have a legendary season unlike we've ever seen before in the NFL. Like I'm saying, more than 1,200, 1,300 yards, 10 or 11 touchdowns on the year, and just an absolute – and the Raiders are going to have to be, win the AFC West. It's going to have to be a crazy year from Bowers for him to even be in the discussion for Offensive Rookie of the Year. So I think he's going to be an amazing player. I think he's going to be a really good cornerback. I don't think that he'll have a chance to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Drew, are you of the mindset that we still need to add at cornerback? I don't think so and only because I expect this Raiders pass rush to be so good. And I really like what I've seen from camp with Jack Jones, with Nate Hobbs. Jacorian Bennett has looked pretty good, even though reports are that he still has a little bit of a problem being handsy and, drawing some of those pass interference and holding penalties downfield. I do think with this defensive line and how good they're going to be, I think that's going to make the secondary just that much better. So adding a guy like Stephon Gilmore, a guy like X, obviously it sounds good and, it's going to be a really good option for the Raiders. I honestly think when it comes down to it, once roster cutdown day comes, you could see the Raiders go ahead and add a wide receiver instead. Add interior offensive lineman if they feel like they need to, or add another lineman to help out this squad. I could see them maybe adding at a spot that they don't feel as comfortable with as cornerback and not sign one of the big guys, not sign a Stephon Gilmore or an Xavier Howard, but you never know. It really depends a lot on Jacorian Bennett, Nate Hobbs, and Jack Jones.
No, I agree with that. I think for the Raiders standpoint, it's like you want to see what you can do with Jacorian. I'll say this, based on the notes I got today, he had a rough day. Now, maybe that's just Aiden being out there hot and cooking. Maybe that's Tre Tucker just being in his bag. But from what I understood today, Jacorian did not have a good day. But it's also because I heard this, the offensive line today for the Raiders did a good job. So the Raiders still got pressure, but it wasn't nearly the amount of pressure that they were accustomed to getting. And because of that, the guys had to cover a little bit more. And Jacorian got a little bit handsy multiple times, had a few PIs called on him today. But, like, I want Jacorian to succeed. And if he can, dude, if he could take that step, and if Jacorian can turn into a player like, when the Raiders claimed Jack Jones, nobody really had any expectations for Jones. Like, we were hoping he's going to be good because of connection with AP. But, like, because of, this Raiders defense, because of Antonio Pierce, Patrick Graham, if you believe in those guys, you're going to believe in what they have to teach, what they have to do. If Jacorian could take a step, something like what Jack Jones did, look out, man. Buddy Bear, what's up, man? I enjoy all the live shows. I thought the mug should go to a true Texans fan. That's why I declined it. It was cool that I won something, though. Buddy Bear's got like 30 different YouTube names, by the way. He's got.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so, Buddy, Danny made a customized Yeti.
Yep.
That said Texans today on it. Buddy Bear ended up winning, and he was like, I want it to go to somebody else.
Which. Oh, I just heard somebody screaming out there. I mean, I think that's respectable, Buddy Bear. And I think, that's the one thing that I love about Raider Nation at Chat Sports where, I mean, Buddy, how many Hall of Fames are you in here at Chat Sports?
He's on the Texans Hall of Fame helmet.
Like, he's everywhere. He rocks with the entire company. And, I was like yesterday when Blaine messaged me. He's like, sorry for going crazy on Texans. I won't be able to go crazy on Raiders. And, real talk, at any point, if you guys help any of our channels here at Chat Sports, a lot of the Super Chat Venmo dollars that you guys already send us, I do. We give some of that to Texans. I'll give some of that to all these other channels because I know the more people that we're able to create a company with, the more at the end of the day content that you guys are going to be able to get Raiders because I can just focus on Raiders. When we first started doing this whole Chat Sports thing, I would make videos for every team. Now, my focus was always on Raiders because that was my team, but we would make so many videos for other teams.
Miami Mitch.
Now I just do this. Bro, we made Dolphins videos. We made
Titans, you did.
Yeah, we made so many. It's crazy. I used to make probably about 10 videos a day back in the day and for all different NFL teams, but that's what he had to do to make a company.
And we would get a lot of our videos from our main channel, and you used to be our main host on our main channel, talking about all things NFL.
Yeah, it was. I would go live every Monday and Wednesday on our NFL Daily channel. I would do Raiders on Tuesdays, and then Thursday would be the day that I would make just I'm not kidding you, a bunch of different videos to be able to hire all these other people. So. Oh,
the daddy says we fly into Vegas to see their open practice on August 14th. Join us at Joel's. I just put the link in there, Daddy. We're going to be having a Raiders Report, Raiders Meetup dinner right after practice. It's going to be at 9 o'clock at Joel's. I just put the link in there.
Yeah, even if you don't want the food, there are drinks there. I probably have one of the best old fashions I've ever had, and I'm a big old fashioned guy, especially when I go to a steakhouse.
He also likes the drink.
I like a good old fashioned. A good smoked old fashioned is hard to beat. If I could get a sponsor, if there's a Raider fan out there that's hey, I own my own whiskey, or hey, I own a bar or restaurant, and you're like, Mitch, you should drink my whiskey. I straight up, you send it here, we work out a deal, sponsorship deal, I'm drinking your whiskey on the show. I like Happy Dads and all because we're able to chug and all that stuff, but not going to lie, the Happy Dads are starting to get a little bit tough to drink. If I could do some different old fashions and that kind of stuff, obviously I'm not going to chug those, but to be able to sip on a good old fashioned doing a game, that's more my speed.
Oh, yeah.
That's definitely more my speed. I'll be practice as well from Rebel. Rebel, are you going to be at dinner then? Hope to see you there. Are you going to the LV for watch party for the Kansas City game? That one I don't know yet. That one's still I don't know how often we're going to be out in Vegas this season outside of little opportunities that we get, and that's just because it is tough for us at times to be able to go out there when we do what we do. It's just because when we go out to Vegas, that's Chuggs and I, just being honest with y'all, using our off days. So when you do what we do every single day and then you go out to Vegas for a weekend, we don't get an extra off day. those days are our off days. So, like, we love doing it. Believe me, I love partying with the nation. You know who else loves partying with the nation? Noah Suavemente. Bang! Noah, his third bang of the day. I'm sorry, FKC. I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to make you cry. But this season, we went in the division, said I'm sorry. FKC, I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to make you cry. But tonight, I'm cleaning out my closet and winning the division. What's up, Noah Santana? All right, so Noah's obviously a big Eminem fan. Dude, I was like, I'm pretty sure this is cleaning out my closet. That was one of my, the very first CD that I ever got was the Eminem CD with this song on it, Lose Yourself, All That. And I remember I had to convince my mom to allow me to listen to it because she was like not okay with it.
This is the devil.
Not quite. It's Eminem. Like, he was cursing, he's doing his thing, but I love the song. I love the music. Now, probably one of my favorite artists is NF. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of NF. I love NF.
If you had a kid, would you let them listen to Eminem?
At the age that I was at, I want to say I was probably 9, maybe 10.
So 9.
9 or 10. I was listening to that, CD. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's this. I think I was genuinely, I was a good kid. And I mean that. I think I was a good kid, and I don't think I ever caused any trouble. I was like a trickster, and I think that my mom believed in me. You know, where if you got a shitty kid, maybe not. You got a good kid, though, then yeah, I don't know.
Depends on how shitty my kid is.
I mean, if your kid's getting into trouble at 10 in school, maybe I'm not going to let him listen to Eminem. Like, I was a good kid. Genuinely, I was a good kid. Small town. I think the worst thing I ever did when I was 10 is I had a...
I'm just going to go ahead and give it to Ron.
I had a chain on my jeans.
Ron's already gone crazy in the chat with the Noahs. So I'm going to go ahead and give it to Ron already. I was going to ask y'all to spam Noah for it, but Ron already got it. He has about a 50 Noah lead on the pack.
I like that. I think that's fair. All right, y'all, let's get into the final segment coming up here on the Raiders Report. It's going to be around players that I did not have make my 53-man roster. And if they do end up making the 53, I think it would be a little bit of a surprise. But at the same time, I have them ranked from 10 all the way down to 1. Just something to keep in mind, something to keep on the eye out for. Just because, I got a burp in there. There's going to be players that continuously pop up around this team after training camp, preseason. You're going to hear more hype around certain dudes. And then when I get done with this segment, I was asked today how much for a Mitch and Jeremy boot race. I'm going to give you that deal after this segment. Jeremy's like, oh boy, because he doesn't even know the deal. We'll get into the show coming up here on the Raiders Report, but I do got to say this one more time. If you want a chance to get in to win a little bit of money today, $20 Venmo. Right now, I already added $100. I added $100 of my money into this duck race here. Right now, there are 15 people in. Winner's going to get $250. I want this pot to be a little bit spicy. Spicy pot. 20 to get in at Mitchell Renz 365. Right now, Johnny B. Good has got a good shot. Johnny B. Good's got by far the most into this shit show of a show already. If you're wondering who is in the lead for our August bang race, right now it is Ed Robbins has got 5. Noah Santana's got 3. Jamari, Angel, and Jason Goots all have 1. That is our August bang race. And then Gunny! What's up, fam? What did I miss? Raider Nation for life, real one for life, Semper Fi. Member from the Silver and Black Hills. We talked a little bit today about Aiden, Gardner. I would say the biggest things that you missed today are Aidan O'Connell was cooking today at training camp. Tre Tucker was amazing today. Brock Bowers, the offense in general, definitely won today's practice. And I think it's the first time since training camp has started that the offense won. And, I think that here's the one thing about training camp. A lot of people have different opinions, right? Like I saw Hondo the other day say, oh, the offense won a day. I'll be honest, I don't get those vibes that the offense has won a day until Friday. I've seen reports out there that Aiden's in the lead clearly, that Gardner's in the lead clearly. All I will say about the Raiders training camp vibe is everybody has different opinions. Everybody's watching a little bit of a different something. And the people that I have at camp that send me the stuff that I get, they're probably watching certain players in certain positions too. My only point is this. Even if I say something, take it with a grain of salt because I'm only getting probably a portion of Raiders training camp. I want you to go look at other Raiders beat reporters. Go watch other Raiders YouTubers. See what their people are saying as to because there's so much information to gain. There's so many different opinions, and you should take all of those opinions, all of that information, and then you should make your own opinion on it. If you're only listening to one person, I don't like to get political, but that's only watching one news station, right? That's only saying, hey, that's the only thing going on in the world. You should get information from everybody. I think it makes the best decisions. Let's get into today's show. All right, you ready? Oh, man, I'm feeling pretty good right now. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Coming up, let's talk about players that would be surprising to make this roster. Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report. And coming up here on today's show, I got 10 Raiders players that can make the 53-man roster that would be a surprise player to make the roster. Now, the way that I ended up doing this is the 10 guys that you're about to see, and I ranked them from 10 all the way down to 1, from least likely to make the team to the most likely to make the team. I put out a 53-man roster video probably about, 2 weeks ago. So out of those players, okay, that didn't make the roster, that's the qualification. If you're like, Mitch, I don't know who made the roster, go back and check out my last 53-man roster video. That way you can see all the players that did make it, didn't make it. If they didn't make it, they're featured on today's show. But you know what? I know the nation likes a challenge, and quite frankly, I like a challenge. I like when somebody comes to me with something, they're like, you know what? I bet you can't do this. I bet that there's not a single person out there that can comment Raiders 100 times on this video. We are doing the August Comment King Challenge. And you know what? I did reverse jumping jacks on our live show on Friday. If one person, who's it going to be? If you're going to be that one person, I got to do 100 reverse jumping jacks on Monday's show here on the Raiders Report. There's the challenge. It's on the table. Who's here for the taking? Here we go. Let's go to number 10 here for our surprise roster candidates. I'm going to go with Alex Bachman. And Bachman is a very intriguing player. This is somebody that I said has a 0% chance of making the roster just a few months ago. But Bachman has been, impressing at training camp, been making some big plays, been a little bit of a reliable safety blanket at times with all the injuries to Jalen Guyton, with the retirement of Michael Gallup. And we know that Devontae, Jacoby, Tre Tucker, Brock Bowers are obviously all going to make this roster. Quite frankly, though, after that, when you look at all those names down there below, I think it is possible that this team ends up keeping 5 wide receivers, and Bowers is probably going to be listed as a tight end. So, that means that out of the names that were down there below, that tells me that 2 receivers potentially are going to end up making this roster. So if Bachman can prove himself and he can go out there and he do his thing, who knows? Maybe he has an opportunity to make this squad. Coming in here at number 9, I'm going to go with Kanai Mauga. And Mauga, I thought, was battling with Darian Butler for that 6th linebacker spot. And I know when I say 6 linebackers, it might sound like a lot. But if you watch the new kickoff return rules and the new kickoff return game, based on the Hall of Fame game, based on some of the things that Tom McMahon has said, they flirted with the idea of being able to keep that extra linebacker, not to put out there on defense, but to use him in a, more of a run-stopping field, because you've heard a lot of coaches say that the new kickoff returns are a lot closer to running the football, so there's going to be some teams out there that want that extra linebacker. So I don't really want you to think of Mauga as being that linebacker. Think of Mauga as being a special teams tackler for this team, and because of that, maybe he ends up making the squad. Coming in here at number 8, I'm going to go with Tyreek McAllister. This is a guy that's got legit 4.3 speed, has been working a little bit from time to time at special teams, punt returns, kick returns, and he is a hybrid of a running back, wide receiver type of player, and you can't really teach speed. But, like, let's say the Raiders want to use a player like Dylan Lowby more in the passing game. They don't want to use him as much maybe in special teams. Or, you know, Amir Abdullah kind of in the exact same frame. Maybe they want to use Tre Tucker a little bit more. It's more of a depth move, but when you have as much speed, and he has been impressive in terms of just the overall ability that he has shown in practice from that special teams point. Like, if you're Las Vegas, you have to improve on offense, obviously. Your defense has to be stout. But, like, what's really, I think, going to separate teams this season, and it might be just a fraction of a difference, it's the teams that figure out what it takes to be successful with these new special teams rules, with these new kickoff return rules, and maybe Tyreek McAllister is a player that, you know what, can prove to be a viable depth option just in case of an injury. Let's go to number 7 here on my list for surprise roster candidates. It's Keelan Doss. And Doss was signed right before I was getting ready to go on my bachelor party, literally a week from today. I think he got signed on Wednesday last week. And Doss was a player that we talked about saying, like, hey, he's got connections with AP all the way back from actually high school. Also got connection with Telesco. He was on the Chargers practice squad in 2022, 2023. Grew up a Raider fan. And because of the injuries that I kind of talked about earlier when I was talking about Bachman, Doss does have at least a shot to make this roster in terms of being I think he's a good 6th wide receiver, where if Doss can prove that he can be a bigger target, he is a little bit taller than some of our other receivers down there. I personally think UDFAs might be the better way to go, but I do think because of those connections that Doss has, could be a surprise player to make this 53-man roster. And I'll say this. I've done this show for a long time. We went 26 straight months being the number 1 channel here at Chat Sports, and I carry that with a lot of pride, right? Like, I'm the OG here at the Raiders Report. I'm the old man at Chat Sports. But we are now back-to-back months being the number 2 channel here. Our Steelers channel has been kicking ass, taking names, and they deserve their flowers. But I want to be able to get back to number 1. And you know what? I think that we need more subscribers here. So the way that we're going to do it is, to me, the nation is a powerful, powerful group. And I think if we get a bunch of Raiders fans together against a bunch of Steeler fans together, we're going to come out on top. So I'm asking from the bottom of my heart, if you take pride in being number 1, because if you ain't first, you're last, hit that subscribe button. Let's get the Raiders Report back to number 1 in our Chat Sports rankings. Let's go to number 6 here in our surprise roster candidates. It is Matthew Butler at defensive tackle. And Butler's probably one of the most difficult players that I can wrap my mind around because I don't necessarily know what the fit is for him in this defense. They want him to be better. It's just the Raiders have a lot of talent at defensive tackle. And because they have a lot of extra talent at defensive tackle, and because a player who you're going to hear about here in a little bit has been stepping up, what if they decide to move Tyree Wilson a little bit more to defensive tackle instead of just out on the edge? Is he better than Nesta Jade Silvera? I'm not quite necessarily sure. They want to believe in Byron Young, and Byron Young, from the notes that I have received, has shown that he is the more reliable player than Nesta Jade, more reliable than Matthew Butler, more reliable than Marquand McCall. However, though, Butler falls into that old regime where 2 years ago he's drafted by McDaniels, drafted by Ziegler, and he's having a hard time finding his role because the Raiders want to be physical. That's not Matthew Butler's game. He's more of a finesse defensive tackle. It's not quite working out, and you could see him starting, I think, to lose a little bit of confidence in practice because, you know, he's getting whooped on quite a bit. Coming up next here on the show, and reminder, these are surprise roster candidates. These are players that I did not have make my 53-man roster, and if any of these guys, maybe minus like the top 3 on this list, I would be surprised about. If Matthew Butler made the team, I would be surprised. I would also be surprised if I got a really awesome deal from a ticket because, to me, you go look at how expensive some tickets are right now. When I go on Gametime and I can know that I can get that last-minute ticket at the lowest price guaranteed, and you get a good price, it's a good surprise type of feeling. And shout out to our sponsor, Gametime, for hooking up Raider Nation here because I want you to take the guesswork out of buying tickets, maybe to an MLB game, The NBA is going to be coming up here soon. NFL, obviously. And I want you to download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS. That's CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Gametime today. Last-minute tickets. Lowest price guaranteed. And with the Raiders preseason and regular season right around the corner, I think Gametime is the perfect app for Raider Nation. And I love their last-minute deals. I think the other reason why Gametime legitimately is perfect for Raiders fans is because there's literally so much to do in Vegas. Like Chuggs and I always laugh. Like we're going out to Vegas August 14th, and we were always like, oh, we should do this, this, and this. And then sometimes like we'll go on Gametime and we'll just be like, all right, what can we do randomly right now that's like 30 minutes from now, an hour from now, and you get like a steal of a price on it? That's why I love Gametime. Now also like they can also hook you up with the all-in prices, and if anybody plans on going to the Raiders-Vikings game, maybe some people live up in the Minnesota area, like you can go to a Vikings-Raiders game right now, you can get in for $12. I mean, that's unbelievable. Like imagine, it's like what it costs to get a hot dog at Allegiant Stadium. You can go and watch a game thanks to the Gametime app. So one more time here, obviously terms apply. Download the Gametime app, lowest price guaranteed. I love the all-in prices. This link's going to be available to y'all down in the comments, down in the description of today's show. Let's get into the top five. I got Chris Smith coming in here at safety, and I do actually think Smith could be a good fit on other rosters. It's just unfortunately for him, he's the fifth guy. They drafted Trey Taylor this season, so he's got that boost. He's going to make the team. They love what they have in Isaiah Pola-Mao, and quite frankly, Isaiah Pola-Mao might be one of the most underappreciated players that we have from a depth perspective for what he's going to be able to bring to this defense as a linebacker safety hybrid. Also, what he's going to be able to bring on special teams. They love what he's bringing. You got Epps, you got Merrick, and then it kind of puts you in this difficult situation here with Smith. Quite frankly, I also thought about putting Jaden Grant on this show because I know the Raiders like Jaden Grant, and he's been a fun player this offseason. He's been a player that's gotten some love from Max Crosby. If you're getting love from Max Crosby, you're getting love from me as far as I'm concerned. Number 4 in our surprise roster candidates, I'm going to go with Tulu Griffin. And if a UDFA wide receiver makes this list, it's got to be Tulu. Ramel Keaton had a great practice on Friday, which got a lot of notoriety, and he was out there doing his thing, and he absolutely deserves this thing. I'll also tell you this, Ramel did not make my list here. But because Tulu has that ability on special teams and as a receiver, and just from a talent standpoint, if I were to be betting my chips on which receiver from the UDFA class that we have, and then, quite frankly, you could even include Bachman and that, Keelan Doss, who's most likely to make the team, I'm going to go with Griffin because he's a hell of a player. Let's go to the next guy here. Coming in here at number 3, it's Jordan Meredith. And Meredith simply makes this list because of the offensive line depth. Jackson Powers-Johnson's banged up. There, Munford got banged up. He's okay now. Colton Miller's been banged up here a little bit. But, like, Cody Whitehair's been bad. Dylan Parham, he's still going to start. But, Parham hasn't looked as good as what you're hoping either. And, I know that Whitehair has experience in the Luke Getsy offense. But at the same time, dude, Whitehair's not looked good at training camp at all. He's been one of the biggest losers out there. Could you potentially look at a Jordan Meredith to be that extra guy? Are you concerned about the depth here with the injuries that they have at offensive line? If the Raiders decide to keep 10 offensive linemen, that's where I think Jordan Meredith and that whole equation comes into consideration. If the Raiders keep only 9, I don't see how Meredith ends up making it. If they keep 10 because they're just concerned about some of those injuries, then that's where I think you could see a player like Meredith end up making this team. Before I get into the biggest sleeper from training camp, and there's one name that I continuously get notes on, and there's one player that is moving up the depth chart quickly. I'm going to tell you who that is in just a moment because he deserves his flowers as well. Before I get into that, though, reminder, dinner with Jeremy Chuggs and I, August 14th. If you're going to go out there to the Raiders joint practice, Chuggs and I will be there with Taino Raider and David Zahn. As soon as that practice is over, I'm going to Joel's Chophouse, located inside of Ahern Hotel in Las Vegas. Make a reservation on Open Table. In the notes, put Raiders Report. It is limited space, so please make the reservation quicker. The address is down there below. And if you're like, Mitch, man, I really wish I could be able to join because we always say it's the best dinner Jeremy Chuggs and I have ever had. If you can't join, you're like, hey, I'll be there for Raiders-Steelers Week 6. Make a reservation now. Go on Open Table. Put Raiders Report. I promise you this, Joel's Chophouse. He's going to hook you up. He already told me. Let's go to number 2 here. It's Charles Snowden. And I'm telling you this right now. I'm putting Charles Snowden on my next 53-man roster video. This guy has been working his tail off. He went to the Pass Rush Summit with Max, Von Miller, that whole thing, and he has been working his flipping tail off. He is moving up this depth chart, and quite frankly, I think he's challenging Janarius Robinson right now for that fourth defensive end. You know, it's Mad Max, Malcolm, Tyree. Those three guys are a lock to make this roster, but you know what? I think every other person on that list, I can make an argument for why they should, why they shouldn't make it. David Ago will make it because he's the International Pathway Program player. But, like, real talk, Charles Snowden has been working his tail off, and he is challenging Janarius Robinson for that other spot. Number one, and this might not be a surprise for a lot of people that watch this show, I'll be honest, but, like, Anthony Brown Jr., I did not have in my 53-man roster projection. I thought Carter Bradley could potentially do it. I am willing to say that I'm going to take that L. You could throw the tomatoes at me because Anthony Brown is clearly, and I mean clearly, the quarterback 3. The only way that this guy doesn't make the roster at this point is if the Raiders want to keep 2 QBs and they want to put him on the practice squad, because remember with the new NFL rules, you can elevate a QB from the practice squad every single week and he can be on your active roster. But, like, I don't really think another team would go out and claim Anthony Brown. Carter Bradley's still doing a fine job. It's just he's been better. And because of that, I got to put him at number 1 here on this one. So I think he is a sleeper to make this team. He was the number 1 player that if I were to do a 53-man, he would guarantee were to make it. So because of that, Anthony Brown Jr. comes in here at number 1. We make a lot of videos here on the show. We do stuff all the time. And quite frankly, I don't think there's anybody out there that makes as much content as we do. And if we're going to bring that commitment to excellence, I expect the same thing for y'all. If you want to be able to interact with me on IG and Twitter, for those of you that have been watching our live shows, you've noticed we've been bringing in a lot more questions from Twitter, X. We've been bringing in a lot more questions from Instagram because I want to interact with the nation as much as humanly possible. So even if you can't join a live show, follow me on IG, follow me on Twitter. Don't be afraid to tweet at me, #Raiders, and if you at me, your questions will be on the show. If you're on IG and you follow me and I go on my Instagram story and I say, hey, submit some questions, guess what? You have a chance to get them here on the Raiders Report. Let's go to Miles. Face too cold. How excited are you to see how Bowers, Glaze, and Laube play? All right, so first off, Chuggs, I'll ask you, and I'll ask the nation as well. I want you to type BB for Brock Bowers, DJ for DJ Glaze, or
Brock
DL
Blower.
for Laube. What?
Blowers.
No. Brock Bowers is legit, man.
No, but blow her.
Blow her. I can't do that to Brock.
He's a generous tight end.
Out of those 3 names, who are you most excited to see? It's like no disrespect to DJ Glaze.
DJ Glaze.
Dude, no, you're not.
Dude.
No, you're not. It's no disrespect to Glaze. It's Laube or Bowers.
I love me some offensive line pay.
You love some Glaze.
I want to get glazed first preseason game. Give me the most glazed as you can. Glaze me up.
I want to, like, if I had to rank these on excitement level from a scale of 1 to 10, Bowers to me is a 10. Okay. Laube is a 9.
DJ an 11.
DJ Glaze is a 5. And it's no disrespect to Glaze. It's just that's my honest opinion on that. Like, I see a lot of BBs from Scheffler. What up, Scheffler? Dark Swan. Laube's coming in here from Ed Robbins. Today's MVP. Goots is going to go Laube. Like, I just don't know if we've seen a single DJ Glaze. I know.
People just don't want to get glazed.
Richie's going to go with Brock Bowers. What's up, Pops?
Every time I think of BB, I just think of Big Brother.
See, I've never seen Big Brother. We got some more people here getting into our duck race. Quite frankly, a lot of people. I got Daniel Jimenez. What's up, Daniel?
Quite frankly, a lot of people are running in this duck race.
Daniel freaking Jimenez, you in. I got OC Raider, you in. LA Crash Dog, you in.
I walked in, I said, wow, what a big duck race.
Brian Bass in. Rafael Murillo, you are in. Joel Rios in. Tavia Cobb is in. $20 Venmo right now. You go home with $320.
The duckies go quack. They swim in the pond. I tried to drain it, but all they want to do is swim.
Oh, dude, there's no way the election's going to be bad, right? Oh, God. The fact that the election is on the same night as the NFL trade deadline is maybe the craziest thing I've ever heard.
We'll be live.
Yep. We will be live.
Will it be in the title?
Probably. I mean, you have to consider it. Like, NFL trade deadline plus presidential debate. I will say this, though. I'm not talking any politics that day. I don't want any questions about Trump. I don't want any questions about anything, just football. Because, quite frankly, I'm not educated enough to speak on it. I'm not afraid to say that.
Aiden O'Connell, AOC, maybe my favorite AOC that I know, Aiden O'Connell, number 12 for the Raiders.
I'm not doing it. No, I'm not doing it. And it's a shame that there's nothing that divides people more, I think at least, maybe I'm wrong in this, than politics. Mm-hmm. It's bad.
Besides Whataburger and In-N-Out.
You know what? You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I mentioned I love Whataburger on this channel, and you'd think I just set the world on fire.
Bro, it's bad. Yeah, sometimes it gets a little out of hand. One more time here, I see we got more people. Javier is going to get in for a second time. Charles G is going to get in for a second time. Rich Renz, that's my dad, in. We got I Am Punchy in. And then Manuel Luna in.
Earlier?
What?
Did we go to this question earlier?
Yes, we already answered that one.
I thought we did.
Yep.
I was tripping.
All right, y'all. So it is Friday happy hour after all. And the other day I got asked, hey, Mitch, how much for a boot, this and that. I got a simple deal for you. I'll do a boot if we get 3 more bangs. If we get 5 more bangs, it's a boot race. Deal?
Deal.
When was the last time you did a boot?
Last night.
Oh, really? I was tuned in for.
Blaine Craig.
I was tuned in for majority of that show. It's just it was a lot, dude. There was a lot of stuff going on. I was trying to bounce back and forth between your stream and the Bears stream, but the nation showed out last night.
Oh, dude, they were there.
They absolutely did.
Also, never mind. I thought on YouTube I was looking at the thing. I thought it was 420.69.
Oh.
And I was like, I don't even know if I want another super chat.
I mean, if we ended at 420.69, that would be pretty wild.
You can't get mad at that whatsoever.
You can't do it, man.
Also, which I feel like we kind of glossed over it a little bit, jersey raffle, you have a great chance to win right now.
You're not wrong.
13, 14 people in the jersey raffle right now.
Yep. I'll also say this. It's not going to be like a jersey that I wear. I'm actually going to send y'all a jersey.
Yeah. So whatever jersey you want an Aiden O'Connell, if you want a Tom Brady, if you want Max Crosby.
I will say, shout out to Buddy Bear. I don't know if Buddy Bear's still watching. Buddy Bear sent in a super chat yesterday on Texans, and Jeremy looks at me and goes, how do you think he ended it? And without a doubt in my mind, F Tom Brady. Tom Fumble Brady.
There you go.
Well, usually it's both. He takes advantage of the characters, man. Evil Mitch, could the Raiders give...
I don't know who that is.
I'm not going to lie.
I'm guessing that's a... Sorry if that is somebody's name, but I'm guessing that's a funny name that he's trying to get you to say. Oh, no, it's not.
It's an NBA player.
It's a former Warriors.
He always does this.
Center.
And in case you don't know, Evil Mitch is a Warriors fan. I'm going to say no. No, I'm like, when you guys throw names at me like that, it's like unlike anything I've ever seen before. I get very, very confused.
What?
Like, what are we looking at? What are we looking at? Oh, man. Wild stuff.
Wild one.
Wild one. Oh, I was going to say, is he back?
But.
Can you add Jason Goots? He just sent me 10 on Venmo.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Sounds good. Goots, you're also going to be in for the jersey here on the Raiders. Raider Rudy, can I get a... Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Someday.
Oh, no.
Someday. The Kool-Aid Man's just going to come running through here. All right, final call to get in. I'll say it one more time here. You got a $20 Venmo.
Do we want to do...
For a chance to win, it would be $370. You want to do raffle first? Yeah, let's do raffle now. It's all good. I'm going to send you the list of names, and then...
Oh, well, I was going to say, you can hold off on the Venmo for a second until after the raffle, if you want.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I'm dumb. Yep, we'll do raffle first. Now I see what you're saying. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do here is we're going to do a raffle for the Raiders jersey.
So maybe it's all that raw milk you drink.
It's not raw milk. Dude, real milk is delicious. It really is. It's weird, but it is good. It's thick.
I'm not doubting it being good at all.
Yeah.
I'm doubting whether it's safe.
I'd say it's as safe as sushi. You eat sushi. There's a risk. There's a risk factor there, but you do it. There's a risk in anything you do. Would you eat puffer fish?
No.
No? Good.
I would not.
I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't either. Would y'all eat puffer fish?
Anything where if the person doesn't make it correctly, it kills you, I think I'm okay. It cannot be that good.
There's no way I'm eating puffer fish. It's not worth it. Even if it tasted like a... Though, if Joel's platter had puffer fish on it, I might. Dude.
Yeah.
Jake Serb, 2 more Noah bangs equals Das Boot. Not quite. If Noah bangs 2 more times, he's on the Gong Gang. He joins Ed Robbins as the only 2 people on the Gong Gang. Scheffler says, get me in that action. What's up, Chef? You in? What on earth is this? All right, we're going to do wheel spin. Like it. A little different. So this is for the jersey.
Yeah.
See, this is a throwback. I kind of like this. For jersey raffles, maybe we do wheel spins.
I like going to it sometimes because it's a change.
It's something different. All right, so the winner of this wheel spin here, reminder, it was a $10 super chat to be able to get in to win a jersey.
A couple people got some free entries for being real ones.
We
have Jake Serb in there.
Yep.
We have Ron Raspberry in that piece. We have Electric Sports, electricity in the air.
I just saw Zach Martin, you in. $20 Venmo now up to $400.
Last chance if you want, and this is not a Raiders Report jersey. This is a Raiders jersey.
I'm going to send you a jersey. So if you want, like I said, you want a Devontae Adams jersey, I'll send you a Devontae one. You want a Mad Max jersey, I'll send you a Mad Max jersey.
Scheffler says I'm 0 for 33 in duck races. How are you doing in
wheel spins?
In wheel spins.
How you doing in wheel spins? So that's what we're going to do. You guys can see all the names up there on the wheel. August 2nd is International Beer Day from Jagger. International Beer Day.
I thought that would be like Oktoberfest or something, you know?
I got a few friend requests here on Venmo. I see some people are asking me. Jerry Watson, friend. Mr. Cobb, friend.
Hot girls in your area.
Jose Fernandez, friend. Problem is, there's not. I don't even know if I can say that. So, I'm looking around here. No disrespect to Coop. He's not a hot girl in my area. Though, his feet, though. Oh, he's clapping out there. I don't know what that is. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's ride. Winner of this gets a Raiders jersey. Electric. It's electric. Boogie, 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 boogie. All right, so Electric Sports, here's what you got to do. You got to follow Jeremy on Twitter at Jeremy Chuggs, okay? I am going to give you until Monday to claim your prize because Chuggs probably won't be looking at his Twitter over the weekend. So you have until Monday to claim your prize, okay? It is a Raiders jersey. All I need you to do, follow Jeremy on Twitter at Jeremy Chuggs, and then I need you to DM him your shipping address, what size of a jersey you want, and then I also need you to be able to tell us what jersey you're looking for. If you want if you're like Mitch, I want you to wear a Electric Sports jersey on the show, I can do that, but if you want me to send you a jersey, I just need to know which one it is. Sound good? I hope so. Electric, are you still here?
Do the shuffle.
Electric move in Raiders Report history. All right, that means all we have left here is a Venmo 50-50 raffle. I will say this. I do still want to answer at least a few more questions here on today's show, just about, little odds and ends, if you will. Just a few little odds and ends. Are you guys going to get mad at me if I go pee again? Is that going to be a lame thing? Because I'm not going to lie, I kind of got to pee. Right now, it's a 20 to win 400. And now it's a 20 to win 410. Sean, you in. Sean, you in. Rebel says, I want to eat. I feel like Rebel doesn't eat until this show's over. He's like, I'm not leaving until we get some food in our stomachs. I respect it.
Our lunch was good today.
Our lunch was really good today. I'm not going to lie to y'all, though. I got to go pee again. My seal is... Dude, my body, since my bachelor party, is broken. I'm not kidding you. It's not been a good one. Give me 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Dos minutos. All right. Mitch is gone. So I see Rebel saying shot clock in there, which we do have some fireball. We do have some fireball right here if Mitch wants to get a little wet and wild. Uncle Doobie, I did a $10 super and didn't get on the wheel. Let me look. If not, that's on me. That's my bad, Uncle Doobie. I can get you in on our next raffle. But let me double check on that, because I know you did super earlier. Maybe I just forgot to add that name on the wheel. Mo, can you check if I'm in, Chuggs? I sent my 20. I'll have Mitch check his phone whenever he gets back. Uncle Doobie, let me put you in our next raffle. I'll go ahead and put your name in our next raffle, because I do see that you did super $10. Manuel says, I sent 10 and didn't get on the wheel. Manuel, are you sure? I see Uncle Doobie's. Yeah. Manuel, I do not see you. I do see Uncle Doobie. Jerry Watson, I accidentally sent 20 for Jersey wheel. If you're Venmoing Mitch, that's something totally different. No, yeah, my bad, Uncle Doobie. I do have you in our next raffle, but every $10 is a shot while Mitch is gone. Every 50 is going to be a beer bong. He said he had to go to the restroom. He said he had to take a second. So, while Mitch is gone, it's a full salami shop in here. You didn't, no? Salami store? It's just salami? Anthony Green says Uncle Howdy. Can't wait for some actual fights. Some actual matches with the Wyatt Six. I'm ready for that. Y'all want to get Mitch effed up a little bit Friday? Alex isn't here. We got about a minute left until he gets back. Taino says sausage party. It's a salami. It's a salami chill out, not a sausage party. It's a salami fest. Can't get right. Salami fest. Where's the fish? Mitch, you're effed.
Why?
I'm just kidding.
I was going to say. I feel like I would have heard something if something would have happened. I think we're good. All right, y'all. I'm going to send the list here over to Chuggs, and then we'll see what ends up going down here. I guess, what the heck? Trace, what's he doing? No, sorry, I just heard Trace say something. I'm like, what's he doing? All right, I'm going to send this list here to Mr. Chuggs.
Jeremy, are you watching Friday night? I am. It's the last Friday. I believe SummerSlam's this weekend.
SummerSlam.
It's the last Friday night SmackDown before SummerSlam. I got to see what's going on with the storyline between Liv Morgan and Mommy Ripley, which are you still team Liv?
I have no idea what I am. James Guevara, you in. If you could put Guevara in twice, Chuggs, that puts us now at winner
jersey.
Gets 430.
It's a dope jersey.
Winner gets 430. Yeah, I got a bunch of these. I mean, sometimes I think it's okay. I'll say this. Actually, this might be the first time I've ever worn a hat on air.
Dude,
but I had a bad hair day, so I was like, and I'm trying to grow my hair out, so.
I almost want to put something on there to make it more comfortable on my ears. Because yesterday.
I mean, I'll say these headsets with a hat is bad. Like, it's
uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, I know why we wear the headsets, and I know some people are always like, why can't you guys get something else? It's just because there's actually so much other commotion going on in the office that these are very good at, like, it's kind of like, NBA guys or people like at live games, they wear something like this because it's where the audio goes. Or sometimes, it's loud here, and I don't want you guys hearing.
I think I just need.
Blaine Craig, you in. You're in for Mr. Blaine Craig. I'm going to message you something to Jeremy, if you can.
Oh, switch it up.
Yep. I'm going to send you something to him. There's something in the water. That's all I'm going to say. There is something in the water. Oh, boy. I think this is about to turn into a spicy meatball. Does anybody like spicy meatballs? Some of you are like, I'm more into a spicy salami type of guy. More of a spicy salami type of guy. Because this one's rolling in from Noah Suavemente. Suavemente. Let's go, Noah. The second person to join the Gong Gang for the 2024 season. I don't know who's going to win the Gong Gang competition for the whole year, but we got Ed Robbins, Noah Santana right now, neck and neck. It's neck and neck.
Two necks.
That also means this. 1 bang away from me doing a boot. 3 bangs away from Chuggs and I doing a boot race. A boot right now could extend this show. I'm not going to lie. If you and I did a boot race, how about we put, if we did a boot race, we put 20 minutes on the clock. And we just keep this thing rolling, and every bang from there on out, we add just a little bit of time. Nothing crazy, like 5 minutes, if we do a boot race. I will say, I do have to get home to Chuck, because I am on dog dad duty. So I can't be here until, like, too late. I would say the latest I can be here is 45 more minutes. Like, that's the latest.
Yeah.
Just because I took Chuck out at 8:30, so keeping him until, like, 6. He's good. He's good for like 10 hours. But I don't really like to do that. He's a good boy. He's not going to make potty. Like, he's not going to do anything bad in the house. But I can't go anything more than that. That's just me being. If Alex was home, I'm telling you right now, I'm down to turn up. Down to turn up. Real talk, man. What's up, Live Oak? Live Oak's a real one. You already know Live Oak's a real one. Can you add Goots another time? Another one. Yep, you got to add Goots. The Goots is loose. The Goots is loose. Oh, man. I mean, shout out, though, seriously, real talk here to Noah Santana and Ed Robbins. I mean, 2 people on the Silver and Black Hills, people that have been really making a name for themselves this offseason. And I always think it's cool because every offseason, every May, June, and July, there's somebody that pops up. Like a Noah Santana, like an Ed Robbins, and they do what they do for the show. They do what they do for Chat Sports. Both guys have really helped out our company grow here like quite a bit. And I think it's really cool to see, like, it wouldn't surprise me at the end of this football season, both of those guys are Mount Raider more, right? Like, I will admit the next person that I think ends up getting Mount Raidermore is probably Venthrak. He's been a long time supporter here of the show. Been watching for a long time. It's cool, though, man. And I think you guys have been doing a lot of crazy shit. So, all right, we're going to run this duck race, okay? I'm going to run this duck race. And then if I don't get anything else after that, I would like to get a few more questions. So if anybody has a question for me, like I said, if I do a boot, I'll extend the show for a little bit. If Chuggs and I do a boot race, we'll extend the show for a little bit, and then we'll be able to add some more time. I'd say the longest I can stay live for, again, is 45 more minutes. So if y'all want to turn this into a shit show, y'all let me know. Shout out to Venthrak, can't get right. I'm going to refresh my phone one more time in case we got any last-minute entries. I don't see any. Winner gets how much? How many people are in?
32, 33, 34.
34. Winner gets 440.
Yeah, Mo Chavez, you are in. You are in, Mo.
Mo Chavez, you in. You ready?
I'm ready.
Wait, can we get a quick refresh? Just want a quick fresh. Look quick fresh. Look quick fresh. All right, good luck to all y'all out there. 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1, and we're off. Cobb, you are in. Yeah. Cobb, you're Tavea. You should see your last name up there, though, as Cobb. I will always say the more and more races that we do, sometimes you just get so many people in it. Yeah, Cobb, actually, you're like in the lead right now. You're right there, right next to Johnny B. Good. This is Cheryl Ann Goots. You got OC Raider right here. Though these races, these are actually one of the hardest ones to predict because you can actually be leading one of these and win.
Oh, yeah.
Where, like, if you're leading this in a duck race, you're not winning. James Guevara right now is sprinting, y'all. He is sprinting. Oh, man.
5.
Is it going to be
Ed!
OC? Ed Robbins! All right, that's awesome, man. That's freaking awesome, man. Ed Robbins. Ed, can you please confirm
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
that you just received $440 here on the Raiders Report? I mean, I'm not going to lie. I love when that shit happens. Like, I am a big believer in, you believe in, like, karma, like you put good things into the world and good things come back to you?
I love caramel.
I do. Well, caramel I like more. Like, to me, if somebody goes, do you want a ice cream sundae with caramel or caramel, I'll pay more money for caramel than I will caramel.
Yeah.
It just sounds better. Who gets the butthole pick? Nice. Oh, actually, though, we effed up the money. Ed, I got to send you an extra $10. That's on me. That's on me. That's on me. That's on me. Richie, I'll send you the butthole pick later. Though, if there's probably anybody that has seen more of my butthole, it's probably my dad.
Your dad or Alex?
I mean, there's got to be, what, a 2-year span there? A lot of diaper changes?
Yeah.
I don't know how many times Alex has seen my butthole. I don't know. Plus or minus.
You had to guess.
Maybe. At this point, you might not be wrong, man. Rich, too much info? Hey, as you used to always say, I brought you into this world. I can take you out of this world. I used to get hit with that on the reg. I was a good kid, though. Dad, you can back me up. I was a good kid.
Raw milk.
Raw milk. Dad, how good is milk from a cow? He'll tell you. Dad, milk straight from a cow. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, man. It's pretty good.
Was Scheffler in that race?
Chef? Yeah, Chef.
Oh, he said he's 0 for 34 now.
Damn, brutal. Well, I will say this, Chef. You do have number 34, so that means number 35 is going to be a winner.
Huh?
See, Richie said at a scale 1 to 10, it's an 11. Real milk. The real good stuff. You know what I'm talking about. If anybody wants to hang out with Jeremy Chuggs and I when the Raiders take down the Los Angeles Chargers
Richie,
week 1.
Right?
What?
And Richie, right?
Richie what? Oh, Richie. Yeah, he's going to be there. He's driving me.
That's what I'm saying.
If you guys want to hang out with my dad as well, we're going to be at the kickoff event. This is a Sunday, obviously. There are the times, all that kind of good stuff. It is free to join. Chatsports.com/week1. Chatsports.com/week1 is this kickoff event. I really, really hope to see you there. We tried to make this picture a little bit larger so that way you guys could see the time. It is kind of cut off, but I wanted people to be able to see the time. So if you want to show both, you can in the future. But chatsports.com/week1 is the link to be able to do that. I will say this. If we don't get anything else, I'm at least going to pour one up here for Noah Santana. I think he deserves it for banging there. He gave it a good effort. I mean, if we get one more bang, though, I got to do a boot. So I'm going to give you 60 seconds. We get one more bang, I got to do a boot. And if we get one more bang, I'll extend the show 10 minutes, which then gives people some time to potentially get another one for a boot race for Jeremy Chuggs and I. Scheffler said, graded one day. Wait, I'll win one? I don't even know what that means. Glenn, have a good day, bro. I will also say, even though I am off on Saturday and Sunday, so the next 2 days here, the Raiders are going to be practicing those days. You can still expect to get a video from me on Saturday and on Sunday. I'll be at home. I won't be here, so it's just going to be like me chilling at home with Chuck. I might also, obviously, if anything breaking news happens-wise, I will go live. There's a lot of speculation continuously around this Brandon Ayuk thing. We'll keep you monitor on that if Ayuk does end up getting traded. And Robbins! Bang! All right, Ed. He said it's boot time. So, Chuggs, let's put 10 more minutes on the clock, and this is all I want. I want a few more hashtag Raiders questions. Oh, you already have. Yeah, dude, I already filled this boot up. I actually filled this boot up right when I took my first pee break. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to have it. I'm going to have it ready just in case. So 200 away from a Chuggs and Mitch boot race, though.
Mr. Mata said, I'm pooping on vacation right now.
Is there anything better? Is there anything better? I don't know. I want to go to like one of those resorts where like your bathroom is outside. You're just in nature.
Yeah.
You're just doing your thing. That would be a pretty wild experience. Or I saw like a bathroom one time.
I mean, dude, peeing in nature is
it's elite. It's elite. Or
I feel bad for women that they can't do it. I mean, they can, but it's not the same.
I agree.
There's a whole process they have to go. Like me, it's just standing. Let my buddy out.
I like this question for you from Jake Serb. If the game wasn't stopped last night, who do you honestly think wins? Ed, I'm taking this down. Though I'll tell you this, if I take this down, I'm not boot racing Chuggs. If I take this down, it's going to take a gong then for me to boot race Chuggs. So if you want me to boot race Chuggs, you got to make the decision now.
And once you chug that, it'll take 3 bangs to get me to do a boot. Because it was 2 for the boot race.
Yeah, we did make some deals. I don't even know what flavor this is. Fruit punch? I don't really like fruit punch, to be honest with you.
I honestly think the Bears still win, and I'll tell you why. Because the Texans' fourth string quarterback in Tim Boyle was not doing well. And it was already raining and wet, and that offense was not looking good.
All right, so what if the weather conditions are fine? What if no rain happens?
That's a toss-up.
It was like it's so hard to bet on a preseason football game.
I maybe one of the Texans' 4th or 5th string guys, like.
What was the score end at?
21-17.
So the over hit.
Yes, by barely.
Barely? Does that count? Like, would that count? Like, if you would have bet, the under, let's say, and if the game gets cut short, does it still count?
I felt like the Texans were doing really good in the first half.
Yeah, I thought they looked good, man.
Once the third quarter hit, it was
sloppy.
It was a little rough. But I mean,
in those type of weather conditions, even starters would struggle. Yeah, I mean, even starters would struggle in those type of conditions, man. All right, I'm going to take this boot down. I'm going to take it down.
Baby, are you down, down?
Down, 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 down.
And I'm going to keep on putting it in there. Reminder that
Ed, 200 for a boot race for Chuggs and I. That was the deal. Just saying. I can also, I saw a comment the other day that was like, Mitch, we don't want to hear about your bachelor party stories. I'll make you guys a deal right now. Everything, so if Ed hits a 200 and we do a boot race, I'm feeling pretty good already. I'll tell you guys a bachelor party story, and every hundo from here on out, I'll be sharing bachelor party stories, and I'll drop some beer bongs in there. Because I'll tell you this. I will admit, I don't think we did anything, like, outrageous and crazy. Like, I'll be honest with you. I had a very, like, low-key just hanging out, guys being guys. But, like, there was definitely a few very funny stories that I think I could tell. They might be a little bit gross from a TMI standpoint, but, I mean, if that's what y'all want, it can happen. It can happen, man. So, if you had to do a boot, Chuggs, what would you do? You going to do a happy dad? Because I think you got to do one. Yoda Jenkins! Bang! Bang! Yoda just hit us with that AP bang bang. AP said at the end of the day he wanted to see some banging, some clattering. It was banging and clanging. Physical football out there, and Yoda Jenkins is bringing the physicality. That's a monumental bang. Yoda Jenkins. So that means this. Chuggs and I are going to stay live for another 20 minutes. Does that work for y'all? We'll stay live for another 20 minutes. I have to leave by 6 o'clock, though. I got to take care of my dog, Chuck. Gotta take care of Chuck, man. This boot's going to hurt me. This one's going to hurt me. I also haven't done a boot in a very long time. Is anybody going to do a boot with us? Real talk. Is anybody going to do one with us at home? Because I know a few people got boots at home. Is anyone doing a boot at home? Feliciano. Every day. Every day. Also, shout out to Yoda for stepping up because Noah and Ed have been going back and forth all day today. They've been going back and forth all day today. I think it's cool when the nation shows up for each other, man. Live Oak says, Yoda, let's get physical. You ready? All right. It's been a while since we've done this. It's been a little while since we've done a good boot race. Who you got? Type M for Mitch. Type C for Chuggs. Do I get a head start? Sure, go for it. 10-second head start. 10-second head start, because I think that's when it's fair. Though, you haven't done how quick was your boot yesterday? Still sub 10? 9? Oh, he's losing a step or two. He's losing a step or two. That means I got to get this under 20. I don't know if that's going to be easy for me. Here we go.
Mitch is hurting. Mitch is hurting. Oy vey. Ah, God. Who won? Let me know down in the comment section. Me or Mitch? I got to watch the replay. Let's see. I I think I got it still by a little bit. Watch the replay. Watch the replay. I don't know. Let me know. Do a little rewind action. Do a little photo finish. Let me know who won that one, you think. Scheffler said Chuggs beat him by a half second. That's the closest one I've ever seen. LaDark Swan, the Sims are done. So I guess Mitch has 2 chucks to take care of. Yeah, he has an up chuck and then he has the chuck at home. Peter says Chuggs. What's up, Peter? Raider Rudy, Chuggs. Anthony, good Lord. Oh, that was close. It was close. Glenn Cardenas says Chuggs. He put his down a second before Mitch. You beat him by a pube. Sup, gents? What's up, Steve? Live Oak. Raiders F the Steelers. Can't get right. Half hair on a tick ass. I can't say I've heard that one before. I do have a little bit of spillage. I did gain a little spillage on that one. Bro, that was light work from Jason. Chuggs, but give it to Mitch. Bootgate. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, definitely not a clean one on my part. I've had cleaner ones. The eye of the Jew in full effect. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me know. I want to know, is there anybody in the chat that's going to be with us in North Carolina? I want to know who in the chat is going to be rolling with us. Let me know. Type me. Let me know. Is there anyone that's going to this event right here, week 1 in North Carolina? I want to know, is there any East Coast Raider fans in the chat right now? I want to get a vibe of who's all going to be there. Give me a yes, give me a no. Say me if you're going to be there. I want to know. Glenn says Jew Eagle. North Cal, that's deep. 808 from Jason Goots. Let me know in the chat. DJ says, I wish Peter's going to be there. Let's go. Hell yeah, Peter. Hell yeah. Anybody else in the chat that's going to be there in North Carolina? I'll put the link in there for you one time. One time. Peace. King says, can we get an instant replay? Yeah, just go up there and rewind it. Just go up there and hit that rewind button at the top. Hit the back. Hit the back. Like Mitch said, Raiders practice this weekend. He'll be bringing y'all some videos, some stuff going on. I wonder if Ayuk will get traded or if he's going to get an extension. Our 49ers guy seems adamant that Ayuk's going to get an extension and he's not going to get traded. And our Steelers guy is very adamant that he's going to get traded. So we'll have to see what happens with Brandon Ayuk and that whole situation. PD Pablo from Can't Get Right from Peter. Noah, is Mitch okay? Yeah, Mitch is okay. Have a good one, peoples, from Jason. Later, Jason.
Dude, if there's one thing that I have realized since my bachelor party, my stomach is not as good. Like, I usually can handle quite a bit of liquid. That was rough. I'm not going to lie. I handed Chuggs my thing. I was like, I got to get out of there. That one kicked my butt a little bit. But you know what? We're going to keep this thing going. We're going to keep this thing going, man. Chuggs, if you could. I was even thinking about, do I sit in your chair for 15 minutes? And we only push supers. No, I'm just kidding. If you could hop on with me. I don't want to lone party this. I'm not well enough to lone party this. I need you on the ones and twos. Oh, God. Need you on the ones and twos. What's up, Raider Rudy? What's up, Yoda? How we feeling? 10 minutos left here on the show. Can we get a few more hashtag Raiders, some super chat questions rolling in here? And I'm going to keep the happy hour deals the same. I will say this. I'm not going to do another boot. The only way somebody's even going to make me consider doing a boot is if somebody hits a gong, We will keep the happy hour party deals rolling, though. Every hundo, I'm doing a beer bong. We'll throw one down. How about this? Every question that comes in that's a 10, I'll do a shot of Fireball, a Raiders report shot. Alex is out of town. I'm down to get down. Would you ever consider Dak Prescott? I actually like this question, Victoria. I actually made a short today on it on YouTube, and I'm going to answer it the same way I did on there. If you're a Raiders fan and you won't consider Dak Prescott, my question is why? If the Raiders go out and they ball out this season with Aiden and the Gardner, you make the playoffs, then you're not going to consider Dak Prescott. With the defense that we have right now, and I almost think like it would be doing a disservice to Antonio Pierce, because I think if you give AP and Dak Prescott, I think they're going to be able to relate to each other a lot better than what Dak has been able to relate to somebody like a Jason Garrett, a Mike McCarthy of sorts. But like, if you don't make the playoffs, my answer is why not? Because I don't know if you're going to be able to draft a quarterback that's going to be better. Yeah, I don't want to pay Dak Prescott $60, $65 million a year, but there are rumors and speculation out there that you're going to have a separate salary cap for QBs to be able to handle that. So, like, if the Raiders make the playoffs, no, I'm not going to consider Dak Prescott. If the Raiders go out there and they're like an 8-win team again, or you're even worse, like, if you win 8 games, 7 games, I think that's more likely for you to consider Dak. If you're a team that's just a dumpster fire and then you're a little bit closer to drafting a QB, then you could draft the QB. But, like, I don't think that there is a single NFL team away where if you added a Dak Prescott to that team, they go from being a team that's being talked about winning 3, 4, 5, 6 games to a legit Super Bowl contender. Yeah, he's not great in the playoffs, believe me. It could make us the best regular season team in the NFL. And if he gets hot at the right moment, you never know. You never know. Will I consider it? Yes. What's up, Drew? Why would Dak be any better than Derek? I mean, Dak's a lot better than Derek Carr.
Because he's better.
And that's like, and I don't know why or how we ever got to this point where people think Derek Carr is better than Dak Prescott. Like, I think Derek is a good quarterback in the NFL. But, like, the difference between Dak and Derek, it's not even a disrespect thing. Like, I get so frustrated when people ask me this question because it's like,
so
would you rather have a steak or would you rather have
last year,
I don't know, ground turkey?
Last year, Derek Carr threw for 25 touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
Derek was on a roll at the end of the season. He was on fire at the end of the last season.
Dak threw for
I don't like to look at just
almost
stats.
800 more yards. He threw for 8 more touchdowns. Oh, no, 25 to 36, 11 more touchdowns than Derek Carr.
But, like, again, it's not even just a stats thing. It's like when you watch with your eyes, if you tell me Derek Carr is as good as Dak Prescott, don't even put the numbers into it. You watch them and, like, legitimately watch them play. If you're like, yeah, Derek's just as good, I got to disagree, man. I mean, who would you guys rather have? But I think when you ask this question, let's ask it the way that it needs to be asked. Would you rather have Derek Carr at $40 million or would you rather have Dak at $60? Because that's the question, right? I mean, it's not who's the better QB. If the Raiders go out and they get Dak, and there's been reports out there that he wants, way more than $60. If Dak wants to get in that $65, $70 range, I mean, let's be real, I ain't doing that. But, the salary cap goes up every single season. And it's going to continue to go up every single year. Like, think about this. Just a few years ago, Derek Carr was the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. 5 years, $125 million. When I say a few years ago, it's about 8. But, I mean, like, think about a quarterback getting a 5-year, $125 deal now. You're like, what is this guy, Baker Mayfield? Like, come on. Let's go to John. What's up, John? Since Whitehair is struggling in training camp, who can you see overtaking him and maybe starting if Miller can't play? I mean, there's been some speculation that Whitehair would be the starter over Jackson Powers-Johnson. I think the only reason why that's even happening is because JPJ is banged up. Like, if both guys are healthy, JPJ to me has got to be the starter. If Colton Miller is banged up and he can't play, they sign Andres Pete for a reason. And he's got some injury history himself, but I think, like, in the role that he could play, he could be a good enough player. I want to say he played in 16 games last year, starting in 12 for the Saints. To me, if Colton Miller was unable to go, it's going to be Andres Pete. You're hoping then between Cody Whitehair and Jackson Powers-Johnson as the left guard. Andre James, Dylan Parham, right tackle then is going to be Thayer Munford. real talk, if Whitehair and both Jackson Powers-Johnson are unable to go, I would actually consider putting Thayer Munford at left guard because on the left side, he looked pretty damn good last season. And then you see what you got in Delmar Glaze at right tackle. It might scare some people. Maybe you put Dalton Wagner at right tackle. But to me, I would go JPJ at left guard. I might even consider putting Thayer Munford then behind JPJ if he were to go down and having Dalton Wagner or DJ Glaze play right tackle. Because I'm telling y'all right now, you do not want Cody Whitehair to start. You don't want it at all. You're just doing this to rile him up.
What?
So if you guys don't know, Bussin' with the Boys posted this picture today, and I simply asked, like, yes or no. Yes or no. That was the question.
Best four that's ever played for the Raiders would be this guy.
I will say this. You got, like, Derek was not good from 2017 on. And that's me being honest. But I don't know if Dak Prescott has had a more successful season than Derek did in 2015 and 2016. And I don't want to get hit with the stats because football in 2015, 2016 is a lot different than what it is now. But before that injury, Derek Carr was a legit MVP caliber quarterback. He was a legit top 5 QB. And I think it's going to go down in the history books as one of the saddest injuries that has ever happened, not just for the Raiders, but it's going to be a sad injury because whether you like to admit it or not, that injury changed him. I mean, it did. Like, and I don't know if Derek will ever admit that, but that's the most honest thing I can say. Like, I'm difficult on Derek because he got paid to be an elite quarterback. Unfortunately, he suffered an injury that really, I think, zapped him of his own confidence and athletic ability. And it's sad because I think he would have taken the Raiders very far. Would have won playoff games. Could have won a Super Bowl. They were the best team in the NFL before the injury happened. It's sad, but it happened. And that's just the world that we live in. I know some of you are like, Mitch, you're bumming me out, man. I'm bumming myself out. I can remember when I first started covering this team, though, and I was like, there was a lot of Derek Carr debate in that. A lot of Derek Carr debate in that. You can say the same about Dak. That's why he's average. I think he's a different kind of average, though. Like, I think Dak's a top 10 QB.
He was top 3 in MVP voting last year. If that's average in your book, that's pretty good average.
Yeah. I mean, like, Chuggs ain't wrong in that one. Like, Dak was legitimately, if they win a playoff game, and I know the way that the game ended was just horrific, but I don't think you can blame Dak for that game just because even if Dak plays a great game, they're not winning that football game based on the way their defense played. I mean, Dak's a top 10 QB. And whether you like to admit it or not, I hate the Cowboys as much as all of y'all, but it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, y'all. I don't see any more questions here. I want to give a major shout out to Ed Robbins. Dude has been balling here. Noah Santana, I'm not worthy. Yoda Jenkins, Jamari Murray, Angel Diaz, Jason Goots, all banging at some point this month. Right now, our August bang race is Ed at 6. Noah's got 5. Yoda at 2. Jamari, Angel, and Jason, they are at 1 apiece. So, I'm going to keep you guys up to date all season long on these bang races that we got. We got 2 people in the Gong Gang. That's some dope-ass shit there. Next week, I will be live on Tuesday. I'm actually still up in the air if I'm going to be live, like I said, as much as what I've been going live. So I will definitely be live on Tuesday. I'm going to talk to my bosses about whether or not I'm going to be live on Monday. And then I will be live on Thursday next week because that's the last time. That'll be our Thursday happy hour, if you will. And then the Raiders play next Saturday. Like, this time next week, y'all and I were sitting down. We're like, I can't wait to watch a little bit of Raiders football.
Oh, yeah.
I'll get you guys a video tomorrow based on the scrimmage Raiders practice that they have.
So, wait, we're off on that Friday when we get back.
Yeah. Yeah, we got nothing going on. But
and then we work on Saturday.
Well, no, you're thinking of you're wrong. Wrong days. We go out there Wednesday the 14th. We are off that Thursday.
Of the 15th?
Then we're off we are off 15th and we're off the 16th. And then the Raiders play on the 17th. That's against the Cowboys. That's preseason week 2.
Oh yeah.
So this week here, we're off on Friday. And then we're off on Sunday. God bless you.
Oh, God bless you.
Can I, there's just one more thing I got to do, and I don't mean to bother you with it. It's been a while since we've had a good closing time. It is Friday happy hour after all. I think Ed, I think Yoda, I think Noah all deserve it, man.
I think Joey deserves it even more.
Yeah, I saw Joey's nipples yesterday. Wild. And I got a follow back.
Dude, they're inverted.
I don't know what that means. That's a whole nother level of four verts to Harry.
4 inverted.
What is an inverted nipple?
Closing time.
Open all the doors and let you out into the world. It's the craziest intro to the song ever. Closing time. Turn on all the lights on over every boy and every girl. Closing time. One last call for alcohol, so finish your whiskey or beer. Closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Yo, 'cause I know who I wanna take me home. I know who I wanna take me home. I know who I wanna take me home. Take me home. Legendary shit, man. The fact that our viewership went up when we sang that song just proves to me that y'all are real ones. From me, from Jeremy Chuggs, I'll see you guys. Good night.